Good morning, gamers. Welcome back to Hellstormwargaming. I hope you're all doing well. I apologize about the lighting today. It's very hot, so I've got my window open. I normally have blackout blinds, so I'm going to be a bit washed out today. Welcome in. Come in, say hi, say hello. Let me know who you are watching from. It's a big stream today. Shadow FAQ. Another Shadow FAQ is just launched. Games Workshop have just nerfed Knights out of nowhere. No fanfare, no nothing. It's actually wild, bro. It's huge. It's huge. So come in, say hi, say hello. Say hi, say hello. Let me quickly tell my Discord that I've gone live. Let me know who you are, where you're watching from, what are the vibes today, how are you doing? Big night. Big Imperial Knight changes out of nowhere at everyone. They've done it again. Games Workshop decided to drop something without telling anyone. Also, Skyward Sword OST is a banger. This is Mario Galaxy. Knights have been nerfed, yeah. Knights have been nerfed. So we're going to have a look. We're going to have to jump straight into it. Look, as you can see today, thank you to Billy Bloodlust, who just came in chat and told me this. I have no idea. It was literally as I was about to go live, I saw it. They've updated loads. Imperial Armored Chaos Knights, Combat Patrol Harlequins, Twilight Cavalier, Combat Patrol, yeah, whatever. Index cards, Balanced Data Slate, Imperial Armor Imperial Knights, Indexed Imperial Knights, and Minotaur and Field Manual have all changed. Like, straight away this morning. It's new. Balance. Data Slate. Get in here. Actually crazy. Why the fuck do they do this? Have they put an article out or anything? Look, nothing. Nothing. They posted since yesterday. They posted since yesterday. What the fuck? What is going on? Why would they do this? So, as you can see, Imperial Armor Chaos Knights has had a change, obviously, because we've got Chaos Knights coming out this weekend. Why did you just skip a song, bro? I turned you down. We've got Chaos Knights coming out this weekend, and it turns out Games Workshop doesn't want Imperial Knights and Chaos Knights to be completely different for a little bit. Okay? I'm surprised Imperial Knights and Chaos Knights didn't come out together. But, you know, the main thing to take away from this change is it's not highlighted because it's an index. Oof. 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 Yeah, they've gone in and corrected, quote unquote. They've reduced the toughness of Imperial Knights, but not given them any other rules. So Imperial Knights have randomly copped a nerf out of nowhere. Actually weird. Actually crazy. They did get the wound buff, so the stat lines match the Chaos Knight ones. But actually wild. Actually wild. I don't know if there's anything else that's changed. They're the things that I obviously went to look for. I was like, I wonder if they've changed the toughness value. But yeah, actually crazy. I'm really surprised that they've like updated the index to match what eventually will likely be the codex rules, because obviously that's what Chaos Knights have. More wounds, less toughness. It feels a bit weird to do it on a random Wednesday, not with like a balanced data slate, not with like a fanfare of like, hey guys, Chaos Knights are dropping and we didn't want Imperial Knights to look weird. Well, we're down having different stat lines. I totally agree. But I mostly think it's weird that they've not said anything. Points drop 2. Okay, we'll have a look at points drops. I don't notice any profile changes barring those. Barring the main stat lines. Jack, if you play Knights, you might know better, but I don't see anything. I'm like 90% sure these are all identical. It's the same. Yeah, I think these are all identical. On a very quick glance, I don't see anything crazy. I wonder if Canis has any more wounds. No. Well, Catel had 28. Show me Canis. He does not have any more wounds. Wait, does he? Do they have 24? No, they have 26. No, it's the same. Interesting. Okay, so we've got the stat line change. Let's check Imperial Armor Chaos Knights. I panicked then, chat. I really panicked. I really panicked because it said Astartes and nothing else loaded. I was like, bro, is that it? They can only take an Astartes. So you can still take the Lancer, which is also toughness 11. Okay, so all the Forge World Knights are still in. Praise the Lord. All the Forge World Knights are still in. But they've dropped the points. Dropped the toughness and the wounds. Akuno! Akuno, thank you so much for upgrading to Parasocial Gang. Dude, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Make sure you shoot me a message and I'll get you added in. Thank you so much for joining Parasocial Gang, Akuno. Really appreciate it. You can join Parasocial Gang or join the member at all for as little as £1.99. It really supports the channel. I'd really appreciate it. It'd be really cool. And Akuna's going to get invited to an exclusive WhatsApp group for all my other Parasocial members, which is very cool. Very cool. Thank you, dude. Thank you for upgrading. I really appreciate it. It's very kind of you. What a legend. Let's get some hype in chat. Let's get some hype in chat. When in Porphy gets save 2 back, I think Porphy has always had to up save in this in 40k, right? Yeah, I think everything else has remained the same. They've changed the stat lines. So I'm presuming Imperial Knights, largely the same. Perithian still remains. Lancer, yeah. They've just updated all the toughness values out of nowhere. Actually crazy. Actually crazy, dude. At one point they go into save 3 a few years ago. I didn't know that. Okay. Okay, so let's look. Index card. What of the Leagues of Votan? Ruthless Efficient Detachment rule award TP whenever the 4 units start with battle judgment are destroyed. I.e. those selected with Ruthless Efficiency and those selected with using the Eye of the Ancestors army rule. Yes. Okay. Is that it? Votan got an FAQ. That's it. Unless Chaos Knights have been removed, and we'll never know because they don't like to make these easy to understand. Maybe Chaos Knights got removed. They just override the crap WTC ruling. Yeah. So maybe Chaos Knights just got taken out then. But you know, if they just like put cross out or something, that'd be really handy. Because balanced data slate, everything's still red, so they're not new. The only change is Chaos Knights has no balance change, because obviously it did. Okay, let's look at the points then. First of all, let's look at the Chaos Knights points. Okay, so Chaos Knights points match the rumored ones. Yeah, they all match the rumored points drops. Holy shit. 6 big knights, here we come. 6 big knights. Here we fucking come, baby. Holy. Minus 90 points of the Megara. Yo, the Atropos is only 355. Bro. But that one YouTuber told you that was never going to happen. You can do 2 armies now. Six knights in GW City. Yeah, literally. Bro, those knights. They've even got the Megara and Styric still. Dude, they are so cheap. The Ruinator at 350 is crazy. Actually wild. Lords of Dread, all of their enhancements have gone up there, which is quite surprising. I didn't realize they got... How many enhancements do they have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 enhancements. That is crazy. That is crazy. So the list I wrote is like... Well, I had both of these. That's 20 points saved. 20, 70, 125, 155. What was the other one I had? Like 2 stalkers. My list that I wrote for the video before you had the points is like 175 points cheaper. So the new points, what tier is Chaos Knights and Imperial Knights? Well, Chaos Knights, definitely high. I would say high B, if not A tier now, compared to like C or D tier. They're really good. 6 big knights is very overwhelming. I'm about to buy a Chaos Knights army, chap. I'm about to buy a Chaos Knights army, what can I say? Right, everyone's talking about Imperial Knights points. I think Imperial Agents, sorry. Imperial Knights, yo! Holy fucking shit. 70 points cheaper? For 1 toughness? Excuse me? 380 for Canis Rex, one of the best Imperial allies in the game? Bro. Imperial can't do 6 big knights. Yes, they can. Yes, they can. They can. You just have to take preceptors. Holy fuck balls. That's crazy. Over 2k. Is it 35335? Let me have a look. Because we had this conversation last week. 335 times 3. It's 1005. Oh, you might be right. You might be right, bruv. You can't do 6 big knights. You're right. You are correct. How does it do it the Abominant? Isn't Abominant 335? Or is the Abominant 330? That is literally the points gap in it. Oh, 325, yeah. Yeah, it's everyone else's 355. Yeah, 325. Which one's the Preceptor? The Preceptor is the one that's not Canis. It's the Canis body, but wrong, not Canis. Cool. Cool. I just like the normal knight. Chat, the knight's gone. The knight's gone. They don't even sell them anymore. They don't sell them anymore, Jack. They sell exclusively castigators, acherons, warglaves, and tyrants. He's gone. Right, okay. A knight preceptor. I don't know how to show you. It's basically Canis without... I can show you in the index, right? They don't even have a picture of him. Essentially, he's got Canis' weapon, but he's not Canis. Essentially. It's the same weapon. Whilst he's fed by ability, removes models leadership and characteristic and control, objective control characteristic by 2. At the start of the battle, select one for a unit from its army. Each time this model makes a target that unit can reroll the hit roll. Not great. Not great. The Las Impulse is fine, but if you're going to take a Preceptor, you're just going to take Canis over the top because he's just much better. But like, holy fucking shit, these points drops are insane. 70 just for Canis is insane. For 1 point of toughness. You missed the announcement of a new Imperial Knight. It's the Knight Defender. Knight Defender. The one with the shield on top. Do we get a new index for Knights? Because this seems to have said, yeah, the index for Imperial Knights has dropped all the toughness and up the wounds to match Chaos Knights, but then dropped all the points. So if they're 335 on average, are they 335 on average? No, they're 345 on average, right? 345 times 5 is 1725 points. So on average, you're probably going to take Rex, though. So let's add Rex in. He is 35 points difference. So 1760 plus 2 baby knights. Let's say the warglaves. 280. That's too much. You can't do that. You can't do that. You can't take 5 big knights and 2 little knights if you want to take Rex. You'd have to take 2 Helverins. And then you can't take Rex. That's 1985. At 370 is Rex going to be the most taken ally on the list. At 370 will be. At 380 is going to be as well because he's 380. I really would have preferred new Armiger for Imperials. Yeah, they think they need a little bit more variety, but they've just got another big body. I wonder how big that one's going to be as well. Like how many points that one's going to be. The app's updated if you'd rather just do the maths there. I don't want to update my app because I'm going to a tournament this weekend. And I don't think they'll use these updates. Because this is like game changing. If you took 2 preceptors, I'm trying to work out the best way to do the maths. Okay, and it's 4 of the big knights and a small knight is 1990. Yeah, I think that's going to be the right way to do it, right? It's like Canis at 380 plus 345 plus 345 plus 345 plus 345 is 1760 plus 140 for a baby knight. That's going to give you 1900. You're like 100 points down, that's the problem, if you do that. You're like 100 points down, so you could upgrade any of these knights into Forge War ones and start like utilising those points spare. You know, like Lancers and Atropos or Acherons or whatever. Actually crazy though. Their points drops are like... Canis down 70 points is actually wild. The fact that Castellan is only 15 points more. You can slap an Imperial Agent unit in there for the last 100 points. That's very true, Kyari. Very good point. A cheeky Imperial Agent, and they're literally right there. What can we put in? A Deathwatch kill team. Let's go. But more likely, you've got an Exaction squad you can drop in. Navy Breaches you can drop in. 5 big knights, 3 Castellans, and 2 Valiants. Yes! And an enhancement, you know? The Valiants the same points. You get what, a 25-point enhancement? You can go crazy. You can have Mysterious Guardian. You can have a teleporting Knight and teleporting Valiant for 2,000 points on the nose. And that will be a bitch to deal with because they are T12. Chat, I can't run an Imperial Knights list anymore. I don't have enough Knights. I've only got 4. Chat, my Imperial Knights video is going to get it done. It's going to get done. It's been on the shelf for ages waiting for the codex. God, that makes me want to restart Knights. Yeah. Well, let me have a look at the... What's the Mysterious Guardian again? Mysterious Guardian. Once a battle, the new opponent's turn, if bears not within engagement range, it can fade away. If it does so, remove from the battlefield, then either reinforce stuff your subsequent move phase. Set to anyone in the battlefield is more than 9 inches away. Yeah, you can literally teleport it. Teleporting harpoon gun. Where the Valiant at? Teleport. Oh, and the harpoon profile hasn't changed. Like the Chaos Knights one is different now. Had enough of your Knights in 7th. They're coming back, baby. Dominants don't have the deep strike block like Chaos Knights do now. They give out cover to armigers. And then in your shooting phase, after this model is shot, like one of my unit, they must take a battle shot test. That's crazy. They're 400 points. Yeah, you can fucking deep strike this and then just go, yeah, well, metal guns and a thundercoil harpoon get fucked. If you wanted to run 5 big Knights, that's it. 5 big chunky boys. That's crazy. That's so wild. And look how different my reaction is when I have the full context. It's crazy when I don't have the full context. I'm much more negative about these things. I only play Space Marines. Ooh, Thousand Suns, Death Guard, and Knight. Did you know I'm a content creator, mercenary? Do you want me to just play Space Marines on the channel every week? Do you want a repeat of last time? Imperial Thundercoil is way better than No Blast. True. But it's not had the update. So they've had the points drops, but not the full update. They've not had the weapon changes, which is very surprising. Some content would be nice, bro. I'm literally here right now. You're literally watching. The content was you beating the game of beating Night Rain last night with my help. That's the content that you get from me. I don't know what else you want from me. Man reads in... Oh, fuck off. It's a big change, bro. It's a big change. Chat, I've always liked Imperial Knight lore. Just want to say that. Just want to make that super clear. But I do have a video. I do have a video ready. A video ready. I've been talking about... When I was talking about it when I ran my last event at Sanctuary. That's when I got, like, some stuff done. Thermal Spear and War Glaciers down. Oh, shit. Oh, yeah, the Thermal Spear has been nerfed. Can't believe we beat Night Rain for the first time last night. You did. You did, you're welcome. Stop calling me Brikey. Stop calling me Brikey in chat. But look, I love Imperial Knights. They got some lamp bulbs with it. Look at my box of to-do list. This is my to-do list, chat. I love Imperial Knights. I love it. I love that. Look, we've got the Lancer. We've got a base. We've got a gun. We've got some flawless blades, which have been chucked today because when I was moving my room around. We've got the Atropos. This Atropos has won me many a tournament and it's still not painted. It's still not painted, bro. I've been playing this Outpost since 7th edition. I won tournaments with that guy in 7th edition. He's still not got a lick of paint on him. Clearly loves it. Look at those paint jobs, literally. Mikey taking paint balls to tournament. Yeah, not for like 9 years though. Not for like 9 years. It's gonna be a good video, I promise you. I promise you. I got like 1 night finish at this rate. I'm finishing army like 2035. Perfect. Just ready for the heat death of the universe because it feels like it this week. Deduct 10 points from all his previous tournament scores. It's very upsetting when you think about how much money is in that box. Don't do that to me. Kayari, don't do that to me. That's mean. That's really mean. Don't do that to me. But they've been sat there. Parasocial. When was I posting pictures of Imperial Knights in the WhatsApp group? Was it literally November last year? It's literally been 7 months waiting for the codec. Could you remember? That's not it. We were hyped for that. What do you mean? What do you mean we're hyped? Remember fucking this? This fucking roadmap that we got in November. They put this dog shit out. And it had Imperial Knights on it. And I had it all planned out. Imperial Knights are right there. So I started working on the video ready for launch. Ready for launch, bro. And then they just went, yeah, nah. They literally went, yeah, nah, bro. It's been fucking... Do you remember when they said 2025? Implied that it was Krieg, Eldar, then Knights? Special Chaos treats. So they've been sat there waiting ever since this announcement. I got them all ready to go. I don't even know if I have the footage ready. I can't remember. God. I got Big Sexy Steve to design me some parts for them. It was going to be so good. Big names. God, what a fucking shit show that launch was. The roadmaps. The roadmaps. It's so bad. Having considered how it would be easy to paint in Reliquary Red from the Colour Forge Signature Series, I could consider that. Yeah, that's true. That's very true. Exclamation point Colour Forge in chat. Exclamation point Colour Forge in chat. Oh, I've got my juice. My like fucking my list juices are flowing now. The fact that the Forge Worlds ones are still in there is so good. It's so good. Acheron, I've got one of those. I've got the Cascade as well. I've got like 2 more big knights. What do I have already built? I have 1 Armiger, which could be either. And then I have... the rest of them are magnetized. So I've got like a Gallant, a Crusader, a Warden, and an Errant. The thing is with Imperial Knights, though, the real problem I always had with them is they're basically reliant on buffing the Armigers, right? You know, everything has a bondsman ability, and all the bondsman abilities still only affect the Armiger. Like he told you do and get Porphy drop 35 points, I can play triple Porphy. You can play triple Porphy on our hearts, bro. They wouldn't drop an index update for a month's worth of play, right? Well, I don't know. I don't know. I'm just very surprised that there's been an update, to be honest. But yeah, the thing is with Imperial Knights is they're always a bit weird one, because if you take all big guys, you literally lose every bondsman ability on here. And this way they should just Legends Big Knights and make them Codex. Oh, yeah. Yeah, because like this, I look to the hit roll is his ability, but Errant's Duty Bondsman is only going to affect an army go. Reroll charges and reroll the hit roll only affects army goods. So like, what are you supposed to do? How many war dogs can you run in Chaos now? Quite a few. There are 130 points. But they're not as good. Can you run 18? I don't think so. The Lancers advantage charge, but only for armigers. Change Bondsman back to Armiger and Knight itself. Yeah, that'd be good. Just change the rule, you know what I mean? Make the rule slightly worse. Or like when they use a bondsman, this guy gets advance and charge, and the armiger gets advanced shoot and charge or whatever. What if like 13 Hellbrins? Like, you can only run 3. You can only run 3 because it's rule of 3. Have they lost battle line? Oh, that's a good point actually. Have they lost battle line? They haven't currently. Yeah, they're still battle line. So you can run 6. My apologies. That doesn't mean you can't take 13. Doesn't mean you can take 12. 12 with some allies. Hilarious. Reddit losing their minds. Top keg. Really? Comp or Imperial Knights? r/Imperial Knights. Wish me luck, gamers. They haven't posted. We got new date sheets, points crossing sync with the Chaos Knights release, massive points reduction, demands on toughness +2 to 4 wounds. Now I see it. New toughness bleeding over into index of new cadets. Chaos Codex makes 100% sense. I'm glad they did this. It would be weird having a repeat of 9th edition Space Marines, Chaos Space Marines, where CSM had to wait 18 months to get their extra wound. Yeah, that's also very true. That was fucking cringe. In Chaos Knights, the Moirax dogs kept battle line. No, they didn't. No, they didn't, bro. No, they didn't. That was a cap. You got me there, bro. Got me there, bro. Good cap. Cadence at 380 points. If he wasn't automatically before, man he is now. That makes up for the Imperial Knights credit delay for sure. He lost 5 pluck crit and he's now reroll. No, he isn't. What do you mean he lost 5 up crits? Where did he lose 5 up crits? Fucking Reddit, bro. Fucking ready. I just delete the post. Bringing the stat lines to parity with Chaos Knights as the Imperial Knights credits is delayed. That seems to be the rumor. That seems to be the rumor. Reading is hard. Yeah, yeah. They want stat line to be different for no reason between Imperial and Chaos Knights, avoiding the 9th edition where Chaos Space was really one wound. The post/slash responses must be mostly AI by now with all the mistakes. Yeah, maybe. Do you know what? That's so funny. Because that's probably so true. You read all these comments and arguments, and then you just have to remember that like a lot of them are probably all fed through AI. The internet died months ago. We're just reading AI. The only place you can have real conversations is the YouTube chat. I'm repeating that from another video I just watched. I watched a video this morning about the same thing. It's like all of these Reddit comments and Twitter comments are just AI arguments. The people feeding comments into Grok or fucking ChatGPT and then arguing with each other about it. But no one can be bothered to ChatGPT their comment in YouTube chat. What the hell is Canis? What the actual hell is Canis minus 70, Crusader minus 80? Most is just a Holger extra, but for extra armature, for slight nerf. Minus 1 toughness plus wounds. That might not actually really be a nerf. And they're one of the best performing factions in the game. I wasn't surprised to put Canis in literally any Imperium list at that point. That's an absurd drop. Basically a 20% discount on a literal best knight in the game. AI in the wargaming must be a new VT thing. You said it, not me. I'm just reading chat. I'm just reading chat, bro. Imperial Knights feel no pain mathematically probably about the same. Yeah, if they didn't have a feel no pain at T12 as well. You know? If they didn't have feel no pain at T12 as well, then mathematically it's probably similar. But obviously if they have a feel no pain on top of the old one, it's probably not the same. I would be relatively astonished if the extra wins weren't better in all circumstances. Bro, get ready to be astonished. Get ready to be astonished, because plus 4 wins is not the same as minus 1 toughness. It is a nerf, but it's a buff because you can take way more, you know? Like, on the board, not only does each individual model have more wounds. That's a bot comment. Shall we check? It's not got enough to play with, though. Nah, it's not got enough to play with. It hasn't got enough sentences. I can't check it. Yeah, like, if you just had Imperial Knights and they had the same points and you drop the toughness and give them 4 wounds, they're literally worse. They're literally worse. But you have more of them. That's what's so good about Imperial Knights now. Can they just beat up Imperial Knights players? I've been trying, bro. I'm trying to join them. I'm trying to, like, infiltrate. Toughness change without a point drop and bracketing OC now is definitely a nerf. They also hit thermal spit range. Yeah, literally. Without a points drop. That's the crucial bit. It is categorically a huge nerf. Strength 5 attacks now win on 5+. Oh, you mean for armatures? It's categorically a nerf if you don't include this. It's the fact that you just get way more that's the issue. I thought we had little fanfare. Merc, where's the fanfare, bro? Are we reading the same post? Yes, we are reading the same post. I thought there was more. No, that was it. Interesting. Well, there you go. Imperial Knights, big change. Imperial Knights have had a huge change, which is really surprising. Kind of out of nowhere. Like I said, we're not really seeing anything. Then this has just come up as fucking just out of nowhere. Like no article, no nothing saying, yeah, we've released these. If you haven't checked this morning, your app's automatically updated. You're just going to be like, what the fuck? We're Imperial Knights T12 or a T11. You know, that's what's so annoying about this. Someone said it earlier. It's like the idea, like, Games Workshop doing living rules and digital rules is moving at pace. You know what I mean? Someone said it earlier. I can't remember what they said. It made me laugh, though. But it's very that. It's just like fucking no fanfare whatsoever to what is a humongous change. Any chance these are new codex points? Probably. Probably. Yeah, it's probably the new codex points. It's probably mostly the rules as well. We might get some data sheet changes. But they won't be anything crazy, I don't think, now. When you get the codex, it's just going to be basically codex detachment with the defender. It was you, Matt. Yeah, I thought it was. I can't remember what you said, but it was very on point, on brand. Living rules is fine. Maybe give people option as to have when updates when they have a tournament. Yeah, you've kind of got to automatically turn off auto update, right? When you're moving to living rules, your physical credits is a freebie and you use the app. Yeah. Yeah. Crazy. Crazy, to be honest. Oh, right, next week we might play some Knights then. Next week we might play some Knights, bro. I don't think it is a nerf to Imperial Knights. Okay, bro read the title and then left a comment. Man said it's a commentary YouTuber, a misstrung out Fent YouTuber. Bro, I've been a commentary YouTuber the entire time. I just do Fent on the side. It'll be hard to play Knights with a 10-point deficit for not being painted. I have a Knights army already. That's the expansion. That's the expansion. That's what's fun. And I still have a Castigator and Acheron to go. Damn, now 2 tubers I watch have Fent dealers. Who's the other one? Who's the other one? 10 codex into pure hobby / lore books like they should have been 5 years ago. We actually had this conversation. Me and Deck had this conversation last night. Deck, I'm doxing you. I'm doxing what you talked about. A lot of people are just saying codexes should be like a hobby background book. Who's gonna buy that? Who would buy that? Like, think of the percentage of people that will go out and buy a codex, and then think of the percentage of people that go out and buy a hobby book. Personally, not being funny, I wouldn't buy like a hobby lore book because I can get that for free. I can just watch a video. You know? Not to be rude, but like, I can just watch a video about how to paint something. I can watch a video about the lore. I can go read up about it. You can always watch a video with the rules in it, though. Yes, you can. Don't get me wrong, but it's more awkward. You know. Really, you want a codex code so you can use it in your app. Mikey, you get the rules for free. I haven't got the rules for free for a while. I haven't been getting the rules for free consistently for 4 months. just to like FYI. I actually get all my rules from the Outpost. !Outpost in chat, where you can get 15% off all Warhammer products or 20% off pre-orders, and you can support me at the same time. You know? So I really appreciate it. So yeah, so like, if a codex doesn't have the rules in it, you know, and doesn't have the game rules in it, less people will buy them. less people will buy them. That's what's difficult. It'll just be, it won't sell as well. So Games Workshop are going to keep making physical books with rules in whilst they have a book department. Can I get the pre-order discount and not support you? Yeah, click the link, then close it, then reopen it. I'm sure that will work. Click the link, close it, and then reopen it. Leaving rules will present interesting challenges for tournament organisers. Leaving rules don't present a tournament organiser problem if they are consistent. You know? If they are consistent. Because the problem I'm having with GW right now, the problem I'm having with rules updates is they're just random Wednesday. Everywhere I go live on a Wednesday, and then it's like, I'll be like, oh, what am I going to stream about today? I'm sure I can come up with something. And then like 3 minutes before I go live, they're like, here's a fucking Imperial Knights nerf. And then points drop. You know? It's like, oh, why are we getting random shit on Wednesdays? Why are we not getting like an article anymore? Of like, hey, cool update. Why is it on a website called warhammerrules.com? Like, you know, or something like that. That's just about the rules. About all the updates. Where's my patch notes? You know? Well, if you could just buy Codex codes for 20 quid, I think they would just sell Codex codes. Like they wouldn't sell Codexes, you just sell codes. Three minutes before you go live, seems like they give you content. Gift horses bike. Clearly. They put updates in on Wednesday just for you, Mikey, to say sorry for not giving you stuff. Yeah. They're like, yeah, Mikey, I know we've been ignoring you for ages, but we know you go live on Wednesday, so 10 o'clock, you're welcome. You know? Yeah, it's just weird. It's just weird. I just want a little article. I want a little thing here that says update. You know what I mean? I just want a little update thing here. That'd be cool. Little red sign that says update. Or last updated or whatever, you know? Click on downloads, last updated. Click on this, patch notes. This isn't good. I click on this. Nothing, I can't see what's different because everything's just been removed. Maggie gets an advent calendar surprise all year round and it's an happy. I just want clarity. I don't want to be randomly told on YouTube that I've got a fucking update to look at today. I want patch note and I want the fucking thing on the homepage. Rules updates here on warhammerrules.com. Has huge implications on tournaments in the next couple of weeks and ability to look up rules. Yeah, because the app is already updated. If I go to a tournament this weekend, which I am doing, I'm captain of a tournament. I'm a captain of a team this weekend. Thankfully, we don't have Imperial Knights. But like, my app hasn't got an update yet because I'm on iPhone. Because I'm on fuck. Oh, it has. No, I haven't updated yet. Ignore me. So my phone's fine because I don't have auto updates on. But everyone else does. You know? Not everybody has auto updates turned off. So then it's just like, oh, well, you've got updated rules now. You go to a tournament, you have to remember what they were because you can't access it. So will these changes be in place to the RTT at the end of the month? Yes. We have an RTT in a week and a half. If you haven't already, please come and grab a ticket. !shopping chat. You can type it. It's really cool. If you type shop, you get a cool link that pops up to a bot. Okay. Watch it. Wait for it. It's going to be so good. It's going to be so good. Grab event tickets. You can click that link and go over to chapter approved party T. Here we go. It's going to be fun. It's going to be great. You should come along. We've got 32 players available. We've got 32 spaces, 3 games. It's going to be all up to date. You can have a chapter approved games. It should be really fun. 5 types of terrain. We're using all the new terrain sets. We're using new missions. It's going to be great. If you haven't already, come along. The tickets are 25. If you remember, you get a discount as well, so it's even cheaper. Imagine game in the UK. God bless the Queen. You're gonna struggle, bro. She is dead. They didn't update the Forge World Knights in the app yet. Of course they didn't. Of course they didn't, bro. Of course they didn't. It's gonna be great to be huge. Huge. Ah. But I will say, I'm going to an event this weekend. Okay. And is King Chuck not married? I mean, technically, yeah, there is Queen Camilla. They changed Sister Repentia points in Minotaur Field Manual, but not in the app. What's up with Repentia points? Are they fucking stupid? You taking Unpainted Knights to an event? No, I'm taking 1,000 Suns this weekend. There's quite a few Imperial Knights this weekend, yeah. I don't play competitive 40k, you should. It's really fun. Yeah, what's up with Repentia? That was me disconnecting something chatty, wasn't you? 170 for 10? They were labelled down in cost last month, but didn't change. Today they changed them in Minotaur Firmware, but didn't update the app. Brilliant. Chat, I'm at a tournament this weekend, right? And I had a crazy idea. And I've actually, I've not recently had this crazy idea. I've been having this idea for like a long time. And I'm wondering if I'm mad or not. Okay. So on Friday, I'm going to a tournament. I'm going to a tournament on Saturday, but I'm heading over on Friday. So I won't be able to play a game on stream in the studio. Please say tournament vlog. No, think bigger. Think bigger, okay? I've been having this idea. I think I might have mentioned it on stream before. All right. But I've been having this crazy idea, and I don't know if it's going to work or not. So I'm going to ask you if you think it's going to work, okay? I might be doing something. It might be stupid. It might be crazy. GoPro on the head like the train lad. Very close. Not on my head, though. So obviously, when I was in Japan, I live streamed. I did an IRL stream. You might remember. Okay. Now I know not many people watched it, but the point being,
3 digits. So
Nice. £2.57.
it wasn't always this choppy, was it? I don't think it was. I did an IRL stream. You know. Mikey preps to break TOS. Yeah, we're about to see some naked anime figures, 100%. 100%.
JoJo. On JoJo figures.
You know? You went to Japan, you never mentioned it. Chat, do you know how to make a tax write-off for content? This is how, by the way. I think I've been in that store. You probably have. I was in Akihabara. Do you know what I love? Do you know what I love about this? Did you see that? Look at these cool figures, Georgie, and look at this thing that says no filming. All these cool figures that I'm filming right next to the sign that says no filming. No cameras allowed. It wasn't a camera, honest. I've got it there strapped to my chest. All right. Anyway, I wandered around Japan, having a great time, bought some games and shit, you know. However, I'm not holding my phone. It's on my chest. Okay, I've got it strapped to my chest. Do you think it's just a baby carrier? Yeah, it was literally a great night. Why do you get your own McDonald's gunpla? Because it was timed, bro. It was timed. This is in the Yoshi Bad, the superstore. Anyway, chat, what if What if I streamed games like this? What if I streamed games like this, like playing Warhammer like this? Kind of like TJ Lanigan, what he got done for cheating and started wearing a GoPro every event, but live streaming it. I think it could be good. I'm tempted to ask someone if they want a game on Friday and live streaming it. Not the whole weekend, just the Friday night as a trial. Remember to set it off when you visit the gents. Why? You have the most advanced camera setup known to tournaments, but you want to record with a GoPro on your chest. It's one game. One game as a trial to see what it's like. Because then when I attend tournaments, if everyone's like, yo, that was actually a really sick stream. When I attend tournaments, I can just wear a GoPro, essentially. And stream it. You want to see the toilet dice? I have taken a picture with the toilet dice. I don't know if it's genius or a shit idea. Yodabashi, that's it. Not Yoshi Bada. Yodabashi. So yeah, I've been thinking about it for a while, and I'm trying to work out if, like, yeah, that's where I try and maybe test it. Is Friday night at Element as like one game, just one game. Me and a friend having a game, both mic'd up. You know, I've got good noise cancelling microphones, so it should be okay. I think you need a forehead mount for tabletop angles. Yeah, that is something that I've also, like, considered. Maybe I'll do a members only stream this week on Friday night and try it out, because members only could be funny. Considering half my members are at the event. They'll be sat next to us. I don't know if it's like genius or stupid, you know? But I need to kind of like test it out, and I might just do like a members only stream on Friday afternoon. Just lean over for the top down. Well, think about it. If it's on my chest, you're going to be able to see most of it, because that's pretty much what I can see. I can't see top down when I'm playing. The point will be, it'll be literally IRL, you're playing a Warhammer game. You know? But I do think maybe on the head would be better, just so you can see more. Because chest height is great when you're looking at stuff in front of you. You know? Modoc view. Just strap one to your head swell. I don't have a GoPro head mount. It's actually not even a GoPro. It's a GoPro chest mount that I've converted to hold phones. So just kind of for use in the bathroom. Nah, you come with. Just point it in the sky. As long as you're playing Nile, his crotch is your chest height. Well, if you think about it, like every fucking Warhammer video used to be like this. You know? Handy cam in your handy chest. Don't need a headband, just grab some duct tape. Excellent. Point one to the sky. Bro, if I'm just happy to be in the bathroom, I'm just happy. I'm just having the best time, you know? 4 shakes, that's what I say. That's what I say. Get the rest of the Hellstorm team to stream from their phones from multiple angles. Yeah. Half the Battlefront streams on YouTube having a poll past it. That's what I'm thinking it'll be like. Except for being able to, like, get up and over terrain or whatever. I honestly think that's what it'll be like. Chat, am I being crazy? Or is this like actually kind of like a goated idea? The signal will be way better there, because obviously I was using fucking VPNs to actually like use the internet, which is really a bit of a bitch, but it should be better this time. This wasn't great because I was in another country. Using Saley, not sponsored, but actually really good. On a serious note, it's definitely worth trying out. Is that because you want to play Mercenary? Is that why? I was going to play Andy because he loves playing against Thousand Suns. You know? This video's still coming, by the way. I've still got this one in the bank. Not done anything with it. I've mostly tested all the tools I bought on the weekend, on the week I was away. Yeah, I just can't work out if it's genius or dumb, or maybe both. It might be both. But yeah, I think a head mount might be quite funny, but like awkward, whereas like a chest mount is a lot easier to do. If you think of every battle report though, like not throwing shade before I show this, okay? But like people love them because they keep doing it like this. They literally started filming a different way, got told off, and then went back, you know? Like you could just as easily say that's a camera attached to your chest and you know what's going on, you know? It's like the same. It's the same. It's just be genius because it'd be on my chest, so I'd have both hands. You know? Like, it's the same sort of angle. Couple of wireless mics, call it a day. Francis is such fun with his train vids done like that. Yeah, the train vids are very funny. I only hit my deep breathing for 3 hours. I'm just saying, I feel like I might be onto something. I'm going to try it though, right? Maybe I'll try it on Friday night. I'll call it like POV, you're playing in a Warhammer tournament. I sometimes call you wireless mic. Nice. Nice. Don't you think though it's like the same sort of angle? I had it quite low as well because I didn't want to film people's faces, because obviously like filming people in Japan's weird. So I like had it like I had it at like a lower angle than probably needed. Do you run the risk of opponents saying something you getting you cancelled? Well, yeah, every time I go live and I have guests on, I have that risk, right? But if my opponent says something and I don't respond, or I like cut the stream or something, maybe people would understand that maybe it wasn't me who said something. But yeah, every time I go live, I used to stream events and stuff like that, I'd have random people and they could say anything. They swear and everything, but they could have literally say crazy shit, you know? You put delay in. Yeah. But like, what's you thinking? Why do I need a delay? As in, if they say something crazy. I'll tell you something though, chap. Japan's so good for like just buying hobby shit. You don't drop the stream if someone said something offensive. Yeah, I guess so. But yeah, I literally run that risk every time I go live with someone who isn't me, right? Maybe. I just hope people won't say something that'll get me cancelled. Maybe that's where we should start. You know? But like, all I'm saying is that angle and that angle are basically the same. They're basically the same. I think it'd be very similar. And I think it's doable. So chat, Friday, shall I live stream a game from my chest? If they say something crazy, they're probably not going to be at the event anymore, so it seems kind of moot. Yeah, literally, I caught them saying something crazy on stream as well, so I have evidence to fucking do them in, you know? Let me research all the cancelled things you can say for Friday. Yeah, it looks like we're not playing a game, bro. A lot of people saying, don't see why not, but I need a, yo, that sounds like a genius idea. If it's like, don't see why not, that doesn't fill me with confidence of actually being a good idea. I need people to be like, yo, this is crazy good. Anyway, maybe I'd do it. That might be funny. It might be funny, you know? Especially for my opponent. One sec. Imagine walking in, walking in and being like, you know, 1 second, excuse me. Yo, man, how's it going? Nice to meet you. I'm Mikey. Nice to meet you. Anyway, say hi to chat. What's in your list again? Sorry. What's in your list? Sorry. Oh, that. What? That one? That over there. Yo, that's really cool. Thanks for showing me that. Really appreciate it. You know, that's how I'd have to play games. Just like the idea, remember to retitle it to one stream is over some POV ASMR type shit. Yeah, this is how I'd have to play Warhammer. You need permission from the TO and each opponent now. Yeah, I can't just walk in with a camera and start streaming, bro. I probably can Friday, because I'll probably be playing a friend. But yeah, I'd have to ask the tournament, and then the tournament have to make it like legitimate and say, yo, this is fine. You know, think about it like every time I stream an event, it's the same. That's a look. But yeah, I converted it, so it's a GoPro chest mount. But then I converted it so it'd take a phone. It's actually pretty good. It's actually really good. It's a bit wobbly. I need a larger plate on here to make it less wobbly. Maggie cheats live on stream. Does people know I fucking play live on stream every week? Why is everyone acting like I've never live streamed before? I play live on stream every week with other people as well. Rolling face all the ones. Chat, am I cooked? About all the Japanese people looked at you like, oh god, not another one. I bet they didn't say that. I bet they said it in Japanese, so I wouldn't be able to understand it. So I had no idea what they were saying. But yeah, it's pretty good. It's actually, it works quite well actually, like surprisingly well. It's pretty decent, you know. It's not like super uncomfortable. My stream phone is a little bit smaller as well, so it's a little bit lighter. But I think actually it could maybe fucking yellow it on Friday. I just go in and like, do you mind if I like live stream a game from my phone, and then don't tell them about the chess piece? But when I go to the bathroom, I can just take it off. You know what I mean? You can just put it down. You can't see, but it just sits flat. You know what I mean? You need to glue a Grey Knight. If I glue a little Grey Knight guy in here, that's actually quite genius. You know, 1 sec. One sec. Get comfy, 1 sec. Where's some bleed sec? I don't have any bleed tack. I'm gonna have to just hold it. Look at me, chat. I'm the Dreadnought now. I could super glue him in there, his backpack off. He'd definitely fit. He'd definitely fit. I'm the Dreadnought now. Now it's cool because you're cosplaying, not streaming. Could be good. Could be good. It does feel like I'm wearing a bra, though. Not that I know what that feels like. But, you know, it could be decent. It could be decent, chat. The only downside is because I have a little phone, I have to have it plugged in, so I have to wear a backpack at the same time, which is a bit annoying. So yeah, maybe I'll try it. Anyway, there's my genius dumb idea. If someone does it before Friday, go fuck yourself. But I think POV playing a Warhammer game might be quite funny. Especially because every Friday that I miss for a stream game, it's because I'm going to a tournament a lot of the time. So I can just go stream a game with my phone. It would really be helpful for me to play my list once before the event. Do you fancy a game, mercenary? Is that what you're saying? Not that I got that hint. You could play that if you're coming down on the Friday. I will be there relatively early, so we can maybe do it. It might be, again, it might be fucking shit. It might be the worst stream idea I've ever had, but it might be funny. Edit the stream after for a beginner's guide to playing an event. Yeah, I think it might be good footage, yeah. Like I said, I'm not throwing shade at mini wargaming, but that is literally like the view. People hold cameras like this. They don't really hold them up here. They hold them like this when they're playing. You know, I'll be able to get similar on the phone. Might help with people getting anxiety about going to events. Yeah, I think it might be a good idea, honestly. Honestly. Watch it. This time next year, everybody's going to be live streaming on their phones. TikTok live stream, I played in a Warhammer tournament. Ice cream. Oh, sorry, how many saves was that? Thank you for the rose. Thank you for the rose. Yep, 3's to hit. Thank you for the rose. 4's, yep, 4's to hit. Thank you. Wow, Galaxy. Would also be cool just to show people that events aren't as crazy as they imagine and most cool people have a chill game. Yeah, exactly. I'm not going to stream the tournament, but I'm just like, maybe I try it out on the Friday night. That might be, because like that's like probably the best, unless I just did it at the Outpost. But then if I'm doing it at the Outpost, I'm like, I may as well do it in the studio. But it's like that sort of environment on the Friday night is probably pretty chill. It's probably gonna be pretty quiet because it'll be so hot. But yeah, like I think it might be an interesting way to do it. You know, like an interesting way to try it. It's like the perfect environment to try it out and see what it's like. If it's shit, I never do it again. But you know, experimentation and all that. Google are releasing new Android XR glasses, maybe a future business expense. Yeah, they've already got the Ray-Ban Meta glasses. They would be way better. How much are they? Should I just get some? I mean, actually, they're not that expensive. They're actually not that expensive, are they? 300 quid. So these are glasses with cameras in, as you can see. They already exist. It's what like TikTokers use to film a lot these days because they can just wear glasses and record it. Cheaper than a weekend vet appointment. Yeah, literally. What's the battery life though? That's a great question. I don't know if you can stream with these either. I'm not sure. Live stream to Facebook and Instagram. Do you have a Google Glass bombing you many years ago? Yeah, I knew one guy who Google Glass. That was it. And the camera's 2K. It's not too bad. Microphones I'd be worried about though. Rechargeable 4 hours single charge. Yeah, one a game. Time machine TikTok. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think the what you call it? I think the chest mount might be better. Well, I'm going to just put an article up. No way. Yo! They're watching. Games Workshop, hi in chat. Games Workshop, say hi. They're literally watching my live stream. Games Workshop, hi. Thanks for watching. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. With Chaos Knights operating now lumbering stores this weekend, there have been a raft of updates now into the Warhammer community. Most importantly, for people who haven't sold their Soul to Chaos, there have also been some updates made to the next Imperial Knights. Points have dropped from almost all big knights, that's the technical term in the latest Phoenix Form Field Manual. What's more, players to see the wounds like many let's go up while their toughness have dropped a point. This keep Imperial Knights in line with the chaotic cuttons. Imperial Knights still a way off, as noble households still looking for their keys and new knight defenders. We'll keep you posted release date as we have it. Kind of confirmed that there's a big delay. Confirmed there's a big delay, interesting. Harlequin's got a combat patrol, yeah. Yo! Killshot Town! Thank you very much for the 6 months Prime, dude. Thank you for the 6 months of Prime. Really appreciate it. So they confirmed there's a delay. Interesting. Seems to be a lot being delayed. Well, that's the thing though, like Games Workshop is one of the few companies that literally does a new release every week or every other week. You know, like last week we had Chaos Knights with a huge Chaos Knights box. This week we've got Cathay. You know what I mean? Thankfully they put an article out. Only 2 hours late. Fine, whatever. I'll let them off. I'll let them off. All shipping from China delayed due to tariff chaos. Yeah, probably. Probably. Wouldn't surprise me. Is the issue with the sprue its back being broken after carrying all the alt builds for the last how many years? Yeah, I don't know. I would have expected them to come out together, but they just didn't. So yeah, weird. Weird, that's for sure. Anyway. I was talking about AI today, but I feel like it seems a bit silly to move on to talk about AI. I'll give you a quick roundup of what's been happening of AI, and then there's a video by Paulie's Bad at Stuff, which has nearly 80,000 views in 5 days, which is quite a lot in Warhammer, and it's about terrain. And since we were talking about terrain the other day, I thought we could watch it and react to it. I have to assume something happened behind the scenes for it to gone from being on the roadmap to just disappearing. Yeah. To say it was supposed to be coming out after Eldar and Krieg to now they're a little while away. They'll never do a roadmap again. Mikey's stealing other people's content. Maybe it was AI all along. Arguably, Paul is stealing my content because I made multiple videos about terrain. I made multiple videos about terrain, bruv. He steal from me. The bastard. Anyway, fun AI news. Disney are suing Midjourney. You remember Midjourney? What you call it? What's his name? That guy, the Golden Demon guy. The Golden Demon guy. What was his name? Neil Hollis. He used this to try and win a Golden Demon. That was it. Midjourney was used to win a Golden Demon. Now, Midjourney is being sued by both Disney and Universal at the same time. Chat, we might be being saved by the mouse after all. The mouse is going to save the internet. The mouse is going to save the internet. It says here, Midjourney has faced widespread criticism of copying, publicly displaying and distributing images of copyrighted works, including images of plaintiffs' copyrighted works. AI researcher Gary Marcus and film artist Reed Suthen, who shared this post, published a research article detailing how Midjourney generates copyrighted works. As shown in the images from their article displayed on the next page, Midjourney's version 6.0 generated images that were copies of stills from Disney's movie Avengers Infinity War. And as you can see, original and then Midjourney. Basically the same picture. Basically the same picture. Disney, bro, you can't use AI to steal from people. Also, Disney, what do you mean we can't use your voices and faces for our AI? Yeah, Disney, you can't use Midjourney to generate images. Disney, we're going to sell AI Darth Vader to Fortnite. Insert the worst guy you know makes a good point meme. Yeah, literally. So he says, Disney Universal sue AI firm for copyright infringement. I actually have the article up here, but obviously this is shared by Guy Marcus. It says, the Disney Universal lawsuit against Midjourney that Ral and I foretold with our January 2024 IEE Spectrum research study on the visual plagiarism has been filed. So this is literally from over a year ago, you know? Like over a year ago that they started filing this. And I can't. Can I not read the article? I think I have a Times account already. I think it's logged me out. Come on, baby. Boom! We're in. I've hacked in, chat. Chat, I'm hacked in. So you can see, these are all generated by AI, and they are not even uncanny. They are literally perfect renditions of copyrighted material. You know? And I've been against AI and AI theft for a long time. Not against the idea of AI, but against AI theft for a very long time. And Disney and Universal are against it as well. This is one of the things I kept bringing up, and people kept saying, actually, AI is fine. If people had a problem with it, there'd be lawsuits about it. Here we are. Here we are. Disney Universal sued a prominent artificial intelligence startup for copyright infringement on Wednesday, bringing Hollywood belatedly into an increasingly intense battle over generative AI. The movie company sued Midjourney, an AI image generator that has tens of millions of registered users. The 110-page lawsuit contends that Midjourney helped itself to countless copyrighted works to train its software, which allows people to create images and soon videos that blatantly incorporate and copy Disney's and Universal's famous characters. Midjourney is a quintessential copyright-free rider in a bottomless pit of plagiarism, the company said in the lawsuit, which was filed in the U.S. District Court of Los Angeles. AI styles like Midjourney, which was introduced in 2022, train their software with data scraped from the internet and elsewhere, often without compensating creators. The practice has resulted in lawsuits from authors, artists, record labels, and news organizations, among others. The New York Times has sued OpenAI and its partner Microsoft for copyright infringement. OpenAI and Microsoft denied those claims, saying their action falls under fair use. And like, when does this stop being fair use? You know what I mean? Fucking 4 years ago. It's just like crazy. It's just a straight up rip. It's like a perfect rendition almost, you know? It's almost a perfect rendition. There are things that look a little weird. It is just uncanny valley of like, it's so close that it's basically perfect. It's about time someone fucking did something about it. You know? Do you remember the time Midjourney said they don't have time to ask permission for things they train on? Yeah, literally. But Disney and Universal are the first major Hollywood studios to file copyright infringements and lawsuits. Creative workers in the entertainment capital have been increasingly frustrated about studio silence on the matter. They have not protested the theft of this copyright material by the AI companies and its capitulation on their part to still be on the sidelines. Meredith Steinman, president of Writers Guild in America West, told the Los Angeles Times in February. Like, yeah, it's just like fucking crazy. They've been pumping this out for ages and then nothing's really happened. Now it's finally happening, you know? Midjourney lawsuits indicates that Disney and Universal, the two most powerful traditional entertainment companies, have been biding their time, while taking detailed aim at Midjourney for infringing on prominent characters like Darth Vader, the Minions, the Frozen Princesses, Shrek, Homer Simpson. The lawsuit reads like a shot across the bow to AI companies in general. The studios frame the generative AI theft as a problem that threatens to upend the bedrock incentives of US copyright law that drive American leadership in movies, television, and other creative arts. The US film and television business supports 2.3 million jobs and pays 229 billion in annual wages. We are bullish on the promise of AI technology and optimistic about how it can be used responsibly as a tool to further human creativity. But piracy is piracy, and the fact that it's done by an AI company does not make it any less infringing. So they're just like going hard. Bow Northerners. What? This is a way to mid-journey to fatten up, make it more profitable to suit. Yeah, to be fair, yeah. May as well milk them for every penny they can get. Rather than shutting them down when they're small. But it's about time. I really hope something big happens with this, because this is annoyingly two very large companies, and it's actually 3 large companies now. It's Bow. Oh, I thought it was shot across the bow, because it was like an arrow. I've been playing too much Night Rain. It's about time something happened. It's just a shame that it's just fucking big corporations that are going to profit from it, and then everyone else is just going to be like probably left by the wayside, you know? You know what'll happen is he'll end up owning Midjourney. Yeah. Yeah. Shot across the bow is like a warning shot. I didn't know that. I do wonder if this is a response to people rejecting the attempts to implement Disney have had over the last year. I mains. Yeah, it's like the problem is only big companies like Disney are going to be able to like deal with this problem. And the problem is everyone else who's already been stolen from won't see a penny or any compensation at all. That's what's disappointing, really. Fucking state of that. Look at the state of that. They did that Marvel Secret Invasion intro in AI and people hated it, and now Darth Vader. What have they done with Darth Vader? Oh, the Darth Vader Fortnite thing. Yeah, maybe they're just like, yeah, fuck it. But also they're like, Midjourney profit from Disney. You know what I mean? This cost money. They made money to make this, you know, because obviously you need a subscription. So they are just straight up stealing. Buzz, what are you doing? The wings aren't even deployed. Yeah, literally. And what's these rosy cheeks? What's with these rosy cheeks, bro? Things do. Disney gets a legal precedent set, then smaller creators consume more effectively. Also very true. Can you do AI generation that doesn't infringe copyright? Is that even possible? Yes, you can, but it's not as good, quote unquote, because it doesn't have as much training data. As soon as they have to start paying for training data, they're fucked it. Look at what's happening at Facebook. At Facebook, or Meta or whatever, they're literally like getting their staff to personally borrow like ebooks and libraries of books and stuff like digital access to books, and then uploading them to AI and then sending them back. Like billions and billions of fucking transcripts, you know, is like being stolen and pumped into Meta AI, not via Meta but by all their employees. Just so because they're legally they can't get around it, but if it's individuals, it's like harder to like pin down. But yeah, like AI, because all it's doing is just training on data. That's all it does. It trains on data. The more data it has access to, the better it'll be. You know, Midjourney very clearly steals from all of the internet, like from wherever it likes. You know, it takes from everywhere. Whereas like things like Adobe, less like a smaller group, it uses its own Adobe stock as like the source for the data. So people say that Adobe AI image generation isn't as good, which it isn't because it doesn't have as much data. That's kind of what it's. That's why they said what they mean by training on data. It's that they have a bigger source to read from when they're like given a task. And that's like why ChatGPT is huge, because it just reads the internet basically. Information is free in a way that resources are not. No amount of judges and laws will ever be able to change that basic fact. Yeah, but there's a difference between like information being free at the point of use and just being able to read stuff is great, but using that to then profit from it is different, right? I think that's what you're trying to say. I assume the new video one is just mining through trillions of YouTube videos. Yeah, 100%. Because you look, there was like someone, an AI unboxing of a phone or something. Was it this one? No. That's just AI swag. Google IO examples. Anyway, in their keynote, there was a video. There was a video of like someone unboxing a phone, and it like had like YouTube plaques in the background. It's like clearly just used YouTube videos. You know what I mean? But it's fucked. It's honestly fucked because like people don't seem to care. Like we could sit here and it feels like we're having like a very adult conversation about the fact that stealing AI is bad, but then also AI is just dog shit. But people don't care. Because one of the most viewed videos on TikTok this week was all AI generated ASMR. None of this is real, chat. This is all AI. One of the most viewed videos on TikTok. What is this AI slop? The most viewed is ASMR. People love ASMR, which I'll never get. But yeah, this is the most viewed. It's an account that's blowing up and it's just fucking all does AI. Shall we have a look? Impossible AIs. Let's have a look. AI battle report, Warhammer battle report suit. There's so much fucking dog shit AI shit in Warhammer. It's crazy. Like, look at the fucking amount of these views. 4 million, 8 million, 1 million, 1 million, 25 million. That's all we just watched. 25 million. That's it. That's our whole video. Charizard made of glass. Wargaming is another VT thing. It's fucking one of them. Part of the problem. I just clicked on that one. What we got now? Giant block. This is the future, chat, because this is fucking huge. And it's full of comments, you know? Like, fucking hell, dude. Fucking hell, what a fucking joke. The internet's so fucked, bro, honestly. The internet's so fucked. This is it now. It's just AI slop and people are just gonna lap it up. Are those comments AI too? Well, maybe. Yeah, maybe. But who fucking knows? Who fucking knows anymore? I have nothing nice to say. You're more welcome to be angry about something. That's why I'm bringing it up. I'm not sat here saying it's a good thing. Sound is quite soothing, to be fair. God damn it, Arhade, you're part of the problem. You want to lower the IQ of people. This is how you do it. This stuff gives you brain damage. It's not great. How do they cut that makes me worried for the human race. Yeah. I'm just waiting for the social media financial crash. Bots can't watch ads. Well, until those bots watch the ads, then force you to buy something. Yo, hey Grok. Hey Grok, what's the best phone to buy? You forgot that the AI is the ad. Hey Grok, is this actually the best camera on the market? I can appreciate the technical achievement. What's the point? Where's the art? It's not about the art, it's about making money. Every time. It's just always about making money. Never has there been a better time for people to pick up a phone, create short films, video funny games of Warhammers, or pick up a pencil and scribble funny shapes and call it art. Yeah, literally. Until that's fed into another machine that's then used to profit from. That's the issue, bro. Always the issue. Grok, can you generate me a clean drug test image asking for a friend? The friend is Ela. Grok, is this true? The fact that Grok, is this true, is one of the most typed tweets at the minute is just sad. You know? We're all fucked. It's all fucked, basically. Unless Disney can help us. Disney, please. Mickey Mouse, come help. Mickey Mouse and Harry Potter, please. Please sue. Please sue the big AI companies, please. Mickey, Harry Potter, Wingardium Leviosa is out of here. Avada Kedavra Mid-Journey, please. I think they're Harry Potter references. Time to start training as a Blade Runner, yeah, literally. I keep getting TikToks about Blade Runner, about AI. And you just him getting mad at fucking AI slop and Grok, is it true? It's very funny. It's completely replaced. I don't get it. Can someone explain it? I'm not sure if it's worse. Yeah, literally. Anyway. I don't really get AI bros. None of them seem to think about the downstream consequences. Do you mean the AI bros that have zero critical thinking, Nige? Is that who we're talking about? Are we talking about the same group of people? No critical thinking because all it is about how much money I can make now. I wonder why. I wonder why. God. Anyway, so we go back to 40k. We'll have a look at open on stream, see if there's anything. There is a couple of things. Do you think wargaming brands and influencers that use AI are only doing it for the money too? They're trying to do it for fame and money, yeah. Nick, what is this? Nick, what is this? What is this image? It's so mad. I'm not sure what I'm looking at. Did you see Simon sold Zombicide? I did. Simon, do they have any games left? What does Simon even make anymore? What do they even make anymore? They have a Song of Ice and Fire. They still have Zombicide, allegedly. I saw that Seamod had sold Zombicide, but they hadn't sold Marvel Zombies, or Deceased, or Army of the Dead, or Night of the Living Dead, or anything like that. They've exclusively sold the base game of Zombicide. Seamod going full retro back to a rating website. Yeah, that's what they started as, right? They started as a ranking website. Is it a cool mini or not? That's what it was all about. Oh, I forgot they did Bloodborne. I've got Bloodborne. It's up there somewhere. Never played it. Miniatures games. Oh, they do a Song of Ice and Fire. That's getting sold, chat. Go to game projects and updates to see all the delayed projects. That's in progress. But that is a lot of projects that aren't finished. They don't have the right songs, they can't sell it. I bet they can sell the contract. I.e. lose it. That's a lot of games. 2025? The Genesis just not started. Just fucked it off. They went, nah, I'm alright. They just went, yeah, fuck it. Same here. Yeah, fuck it, YOLO. That's bad. That's rough. It's just crazy because, like, like so many of these companies get a Kickstarter. Yeah, these are all Kickstarters. So these are like people's like hard-earned money investments. And then what they do is they go, I can't actually afford to finish this one. I've spent all the money, so I'm going to start another one. And then when I got all the money from this one, I use all the money from this one to pay for this one. And then when this one's done, well, now I don't have the money to make this one. So I'll have to make another Kickstarter, so I'll make this one. Allegedly. Not saying this company's doing that, but it feels like it. But then when they can't, with all the money they made from this one, they'll try and finish this one. And then this one will take too much, so they'll go, oh fuck, we'll have to make another one to pay for this one, and then pay for this one. I don't think it's a Ponzi scheme. I don't think it's a Ponzi scheme. But like, there's a lot of Kickstarter-based companies that do that. Shell game. Is that a term that I don't know that I'm about to learn? Shell game. Ah, yes. 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 The annual bridge by stay within the county rules will not generate no extra income. Grok, is this true? Grok, is this true? Yeah, it's just fucking fucked. Absolutely fucked. But you might have seen me the other day. You might have seen the stream the other night, Monday night, where we talked about tournament terrain. One of the big things we were talking about was UKTC terrain and how all terrains cringe. However, I didn't realise, actually a couple of days before then, when was it? 13th? Last Friday, Paulie's Bad at Stuff put a video out that has 76,000, probably more now. Let's have a look.
Every time there will be comments about the actual layout.
76,000 views. Literally had another 1,000 views since I've had it open on a tab. Talking about saying the problem with L-shaped ruins. And I thought we could have a look, see what he's got to say, see if we agree or disagree. and generally just see what Paul's got to say about L-shaped ruins, because like L-shaped ruins are the worst, most common thing you see on the table, but also the best thing available. They're the best thing on the table. And the things that I was saying on the stream on Monday was like L-shaped ruins are the easiest to hide behind. They're the most forgiving. They're the easiest to store, and they are functionally very good. Because as soon as you try something else, it just doesn't work. You know, for example, I'll pull up paint. I might even just be able to pull up my stream for the other day. Let me just pull up my stream for the other day. Because I think I explained it there and drew it out really well. So we talk about the new UKTC tournament pack, as you can see here, and talk about like how they weren't that great. I'm trying to find an example where I like did like some good explaining of like, because someone asked me how would I fix it. Here, for example. So this is like new UKTC. Okay, lots of L-shaped ruins, making L-shaped ruins with more L-shapes. You know, as soon as you replace it with a weird shape, it takes up more floor space, and then it's just more awkward to play with. Because if this is a tree base, for example, you want to hide behind it, you've got to be back here. You probably can't get through it. Okay, you can't get through it in one movement phase. You're sat in some tree base. Whereas with an L shape, you can hide behind it quite easily, and then you can just walk through it, create a wall, and just appear on the other side and go do whatever. You can. It's because L shapes are very thin. They're easy to play with and easy to understand as a player. Whilst I understand that every table all has half broken ruins on them, can get very samey. It's a band-aid to a larger problem that 40k takes too long and it is way too killy. That's what we spoke about on Monday. You know, if you have a circle, you have the same problem. You know, if you draw a circle, this is our circle terrain piece instead of this L. You put models behind it. Suddenly, you can get seen from more angles, so you can't hide behind it. You know, and then you can't get through it when you want to walk through. That's basically what I'm representing. Those extra lines are like line of sight. Whereas if you had an L-shaped ruin, you can hide from one side but not the other. So like there's no line of sight here. You can only draw a line of sight there. That was kind of like what I was like trying to explain. It's a lesser of two evils. Yeah, that's the basically the main thing. It's like, yes, it's very samey, but it's not unfun to play on L-shaped ruins. You know what I mean? It's one of those. It's like, it doesn't ruin your game, where playing with other terrain as it stands ruins your game. Like a lot of the time, it can just ruin your game. Now, the benefit of Games Workshop layout, like I spoke about, is these layouts have recommended ruins, okay? They have recommended L shapes. You do not have to use that. If you just use the footprints, okay? If you just use the footprints from Games Workshop's terrain and then put anything you want on there, it'll still function pretty well. Because of the footprint aspect and having the rules of a ruin will work really well. It doesn't really matter what's on top. It does make a difference, obviously, if you don't have anything on here. Let's say you have some rocks, because you're like, hell yeah, rocks are cool. You know, you can't go in and hide behind the rocks, where you can hide behind a ruin. That's what's kind of important. So that's why L-shaped ruins are really important, because you can actually get models in and behind them and hide behind it. That's why L's are so popular. It's not because people are lazy. It's not because every board is another Imperial ruin. It's very functional, works really well, easy to play around, easy to understand, and then as a just a general thing, just helps the game. It helps the health of a competitive game, because the worst thing that can happen is you going up to a board and losing because you can't hide behind anything, because the game is way too killy. It is a band-aid to a large problem. You know? Game rule system designed around L's. A game rule system designed around footprints, 100%. But then L's are the easiest things to play with. So, anyway, Paul said he's got a problem and allegedly fixed it. So I'm interested to see what he's got to say. So let's have a look.
If there's one thing that will guarantee arguments when discussing 40k, it's showing pictures of one of my games. Every time there will be comments about the actual layout itself, to the type of terrain, to the look of the terrain, to the contentious subject of 10th edition ruin spam, and I get it, I truly do. Terrain is one of the most important components when it comes to playing 40k, but I do think there's a lot of vitriol thrown around unnecessarily in conversations about the battlefields and how they should be presented. I want to just
read your comments, chat. Are you full of vitriol? It makes me not want to go to an event. What the fuck is that, Jesus? Iron Forest, own up to your sins. They are practical, which is essential for mass tabletop wargaming. Doesn't mean it needs to trickle down to casual play. Well, no, but the problem is, as soon as you play casual play on something like this that we've got on screen, you deploy here. Where do you put your army? Okay, you don't. You don't put it. You put it a bit behind here. You know, a bit behind. Let's say you're playing corners, search and destroy, 9 inches from the center. You put a bit here. Cool. These are just walls so they don't block line of sight. Cool. You know, where do you deploy your army? You deploy it on the front line. Your opponent goes first, sees your army, shoots it, you die. You lose. And you go, God, your army is so broken. Not understanding that the first problem was the board that you've got set up. I'm a narrative gamer. Hate flows through me. True. L-shape runes has made me cynical over years and years of having nothing but L-shapes now. I can still have fun, but I also never miss the L spam everywhere. I think the problem is Games Workshop post pictures like this and they go, that's what 40k looks like. And you have to remember that this is not what 40k looks like. This is what 40k in our heads look like. This is what 40k in the stories look like, and it's constant representation. It's the best way. It's what Warhammer 40k looks like in the marketing. The problem is the game doesn't function anywhere near enough in the right way for this to be functional and good, you know? I struggle to eat spaghetti hoops now. Whenever I get an L shape, I get flashbacks. Yeah. No alpha spaghetti for me. Yeah, another GWL. There's lethality problem, but also speed problem. You can get pretty much wherever you want to apply damage, making super heavy terrain mandatory. Yeah, Shadowsun, exactly. It's that the speed and lethality of armies is crazy now. So you can just go wherever you want. You can end up wherever you want, and see everything you want. Which is why like footprints are like crucial. If you took all these pieces of terrain and put them on these footprints, it would work loads better. Like as a functionally as a game, use these footprints. Because do people have a problem with footprints? Except for like when the perspex are annoying to see and look at. But like with like this, if you took this layout, ignoring the L shapes on there, and just made something similar to this, it would really function well. So terrain needs a rework. Terrain's never been good. Kitchen roll or nothing. Yeah, literally, kitchen roll, footprints, go for it. You know what I mean? Like we said, a piece of paper, you can just make them all out of paper and then put your terrain on top of it, and it works pretty well. But yeah, like functionally, this terrain will never work. It needs a footprint. It doesn't necessarily need L shapes. But people just hate L's because they are so common. And the reason it's so common is because MDF is cheap and easy to make. You know? The MDF terrain is so cheap and common in Warhammer. That's why L shapes are so common, because it's so easy to make an L shaped ruin, because you get 2 pieces of MDF and 2 slots and just bang them together. That's it. You know what I mean? It's like, it's surprisingly cheap. It's like, this looks cool, don't get me wrong, but this is an expensive board. This probably costs like 3 times the amount you could have for like MDF. And MDF is harder to make 3D, so the easiest way to 3D is to bang 2 shapes together and then call it. Also, can't believe you went off and achieved victory without me, not waiting for the days it'll take me to get on. Yeah, Joe, I'll be on tonight, bro. I got 3 wins in a row yesterday. I got 3 wins in a row. I did champion Dark Drift Knight solo. Then I did Tricephalos solo, and then I did the Night Lord in a match with Dreadnought, and we got 3 wins in a row. The meta cause issues is the worst hot take I've seen. Competitive players are the reason we have reasonable balance. Yeah, but also, I don't think it's the meta that's causing the problem. It's the lethality of games, right? I'm not sure where you saw that comment. It's that the problem is, the problem is the game's just really lethal. So the terrain layouts are a band-aid. I will always stand by that. Sorry, I can only play on a 1 to 100 scale board of the Imperial Palace. Anything else ruins my immersion. Wasn't there a rumor years ago about Genius releasing their own MDF stuff? We got a brief glimpse of it in Kill Team. Yeah, the Kill Team stuff was actually really nice as well. I told him it's she's starting his early night. Ugh. Joe, just come join the Hellstorm Night Rain channel. We'll make it. We'll call it Hell Joe Night Rain. Hell Joe Night Rain. Nice. But yeah, the fucking Kill Team, the starter set, had MDF terrain, you know what I mean? The plague of MDF L shapes was even real in Kill Team, and it looked pretty nice though. You know? Moon-based classes in MDF. It looked pretty good. But yeah, this is a narrative picture to lay out your models and look cool. You can't play a game like this. Joe Storm Night Rain. Hell yeah. Joe Storm Night Rain. I have to admit, Necromunda spoiled me when it comes to terrain and play. Well, the thing is with Necromunda, it's like a role-playing system, essentially, right? So you can kind of make it work when it needs to. Anyway, I've got 25 seconds into this video, and I've been watching it for 15 minutes. I should probably watch.
Facets of terrain in this video, from what terrain is, why it's important to the game of 40k, current status quo, issues with the Nothing But Ruins battlefield design, and ultimately what I think the true problems are and how to fix them. Whilst I understand there is a dissatisfaction with what 40k is in 10th edition when it comes to terrain, there is a lot of hyperbolic gesturing, as there always is on the internet. And I think that needs to be reined in if we want to properly dig into the way that 10th edition presents the interactive thematic battlefields of the 41st millennium. And to do that, we need to talk about the elephant in the room.
I want to say, I really like the use of his music, but
thematic battlefields of the 41st millennium. And to do that, we need to talk about the elephant.
Not a Gromit mug, or is it? Is he stealing my brand of Wallace and Gromit? Is he stealing my branding of Wallace and Gromit? Is that what he's trying to say?
In the room. So, L-shaped ruins. You probably already have a comment ready to go, regardless of what I say in this video. So, go on, let it all out, get it off your chest, and tell me all of your problems.
I don't watch much, Paul, but Jesus Christ, he's just got my playlist.
Not all of your problems. I'm not your therapist or your mum, but anyway, I'm somewhat curious if this video will change a few people's minds, or maybe I just have such L takes that people actually double down instead. But either way, pre-engagement. Subscribe. There's a lot to get through before we get to the ins and outs of L-shaped ruins, and there will be people who are familiar with 40k, for which some of this stuff will be obvious common knowledge. But there is a decent amount of my audience that is not that familiar with 40k and its inner workings, so we need a bit of setup on how 40k works and the purpose of terrain. Let's start with the bare basics.
I will say, a lot of the time, especially like online threads, I do start to wonder like how much of the argument is like how much do you actually play to understand the argument you're having? You know? Sometimes I think that. Sometimes I think, especially like online Reddit threads. Never here, because everyone here is competitive gamers that know what's going on and understand. But like sometimes I'll read threads, you know? I'm a Reddit browser. I love browsing Reddit now and then. And I'm just reading some of the comments and it's just like, Jesus fucking Christ. No one knows what's happening here. And that really came to fruition when I made my video about pivoting and people just not understanding how like the game worked. You know? Like, ages ago, I made a video that was like, this is what pivoting means. This is how pivoting works. And people were just still telling me I was wrong. And it was just like, they tell me I was wrong about, like, basic things. About, like, terrain and whatever. People think you can't move through footprints of terrain because it's terrain. Where they can't move through physical pieces, you know? Lots of, like, arguably basic things like being like the, what am I trying to say? Basic things in terms of like arguing about things that clearly they don't know, you know what I mean? Same as back in the day on Daka Daka. I'm convinced some people didn't play or collect. They just complained online as a hobby itself. Yeah, literally that. Like, a lot of the time it feels like people just argue for the argument's sake. But they get involved in arguments that they don't understand. I understand people, like, asking questions in the middle of an argument of, like, hey, I don't understand this. But, like, a lot of the time people just get in an argument, start arguing, and then they're like, oh, I'm wrong. Like, the fucking guy, like, Canis only rerolls once to hit now. Where the fuck did he get that from? Where? Out of his arse? Out of his arse? Surely. You know, like, just making shit up and just don't understand. You know, it's just so weird. People are so, like, quick to comment on things now and quick to argue about things. But, like, half the time they don't fucking get it. They're all the wrong.
You and your buddy want to get into 40k, so you are both new players. You've just got a couple of combat patrols together, and you want to play the game. You have a space carved out, probably on a table, where you will play the game. You have your armies, you have a mission that tells you what you need to achieve, some objectives you need to get to achieve them, but as you start to place your units down in deployment, you realize that you are currently battling on an open field in the Fens, and you've decided to play World Eaters into a Tau gun line. In order to stop your blood-crazed maniacs from becoming nothing but a red smear on the ground due to the power of futuristic laser beams and anime, you need somewhere to hide. What you need is something to just break up that open field, something that you can stage behind as you approach the Gundams of the greater good. What you need is some terrain. 10th edition offers a wide variety of different options for your terrain. If you're about to comment that it doesn't, shut up, because it actually does, but we'll get to that. 10th edition offers a wide variety of options such as craters and rubble, barricades, fuel pipes, debris, statues, hills, industrial structures, sealed buildings, containers, woods, and ruins, with rules to support them, and there are a lot of different things that fit into those categories to make really interesting and thematic tables. Hills could be your standard rolling hills, or they could be an alien planetary growth, or even a grim dark pile of skulls. You could have a battle that takes place in a city, or a dense jungle, or even on the back of some unfathomably giant beast. All sorts of awesome stuff. But outside of a few very select locations, that unfortunately isn't how it plays out. I'd love it if it was that easy to defend 10th edition by just vaguely gesturing towards the cool rulebook and saying, look, see, you don't just have to play ruins. The reality is that for most games of 40k, that idyllic landscape of limitless possibilities just doesn't happen and probably will not happen. But why not? Why has all of that potential been reduced down to the lowest common denominator where every game uses the same few layouts and stone city ruins ad infinitum? A decent amount of
I'll tell you why. It's because none of them block line of sight. None of the 40k terrain rules block line of sight, barring ruins. Like I've just spoke about. Like I've been going on about for months, years, you know what I mean? The reason that no one uses any other types of terrain, they don't use hills, they don't use woods, they don't use anything like that. None of it blocks line of sight. If you don't block enough line of sight early on, you still get tabled. You can say the board's full of terrain, but if you can see through it all, and the only difference is you get cover and you -1 to hit, you're probably still dead. You know? That's the problem. That's the ultimately the problem. This guy's video has a banger playlist. It's basically mine, bro. Paul been watching me, been looking at my playlist, using the most generic YouTuber playlist ever. Well, let me look at terrain rules on here. I don't even know what they fucking are anymore because they don't fucking use them. Terrain features. Craters and rubble. Visibility. Normal visibility rules apply. Barricade and fuel pipes. Normal visibility rules apply. Battlefield debris and statuary. Normal visibility rules apply. Hills, industrial structures, sealed buildings, and armored containers. Normal visibility rules apply. Woods. Models in the unit wholly within terrain can never be considered to be fully visible to the observing model. Similarly, if a model is not wholly within terrain feature, must look through or over this terrain feature in other line of sight, then that other model is never considered to be fully visible to the observing model. So that means it will have cover. I.e., normal visibility rules apply. Ruins. Models cannot see through or over this terrain feature. That is the only difference. You know? That is the only difference. Its visibility is the problem. It's always visibility because the game is too lethal. You can get around stuff too easily. So having like 1 or 2 buildings and loads of other stuff around the board doesn't work at all. It doesn't work. Its visibility is the problem.
The comments I asked for earlier, and some of the more passionate viewers are probably yelling competitive players at the screen, but I don't think that's entirely the case. Sure, the increase in competitive or match play events may contribute to the standardization of terrain, but I doubt there are competitive players out there frothing at the mouth when they see a piece of terrain with a tree on it. There's a lot of reasons we're in this situation. Some of those reasons, and some of the more pertinent ones, are not the results of competitive players whining about stuff to make their game balanced, but are instead new and casual players. And to try and minimize the risk of people wanting to tear me a new hole for that statement, I'll continue talking to not leave you a pause in the video to yell at me. I'm just going to move on to my reasoning. Let's go back to that previous scenario. 2 new players setting up a game for the first time. You set up your battlefield in the East Midlands of England. It's flatland flat, and there's no cosmic apple around to whisk you into some third dimension. You need...
Do you froth over the sight of trees, my game? I froth over the sight of competitive trees. You ever seen a competitive tree before? World Tree Conservation? No! World Team Tournament! World Team Tournament! Not Wilkie Tree Company! Look at this state! Oh, it's actually not too bad. Look at these trees! Look at these damn trees, bro. The Mandu ones aren't so bad. They look kind of cute. They look kind of cute. Look at it. Wait, let you daddy, how good you. Look at these trees. Trees! Trees! I'm glad to have a trees white 2D templates here. Look at the trees, chat. Look at them. It's basically a forest land. I'm trying to find some other ones. There's some really bad examples. Looks like you're full grown. Shut up! Quiet, mortal. The YouTuber is talking. 40k trees. They look all great. MDF. God, they all look good. I've shown you the crimes. There's so many tree crimes in 40k. There's so many tree crimes in 40k. That's the true facts. Crimes against trees. People just don't know what trees look like in 40k when they make terrain.
Something to break it up, and the solution, like I said, is to use some terrain. Except you don't have any terrain. And hell, even if you did, how do you set up the terrain? How much do you need? How big should they be? What kind? There are loads of these different types. Should they be woods, craters, pipes, closed buildings, ruins? All of these different rules. And where should they go? How do you make it fair? What if we use too little? That benefits Tau and the game will be over immediately. But if we use too much, then World Eaters will win as the Tau can't get any shots off. So, damn, this is so confusing. Fuck this. Do you want to just play Mario Party so we can get pissed off each other way more efficiently? Yes, that was a little bit over the top, but it's exaggerated to illustrate my point. point. You can take it a little bit further to 2 players who are not complete beginners but aren't exactly experts and need some help in understanding what a good balanced board looks like. They aren't going to be flashy or thematic, but the default Games Workshop layouts are serviceable to get a decent game in that isn't going to cause arguments because someone only won due to battlefield bias. And they're quick as well. You don't need to think too much. You can just look at the tournament companion, grab a layout, get some terrain measured up, and off you go. This may be considered a hot...
That's the thing as well, is every time is like, one of the big complaints with Games Workshop layouts is the fact that they are symmetrical. People hate I think the big problem with, like, the big hate towards terrain is like the symmetricalness of it, because both sides are perfectly equal. We had it literally on Monday, someone saying we should have a roll-off and actually terrain side should matter. But the problem is again, when you go terrain side should matter, we don't want L's, what you're saying is I want a more nice looking board, and then you put your models on it which have not designed, like, the game isn't designed for nice looking boards because it needs the band-aid fix of L's and some symmetricality or whatever you want to call it. And then yeah, it's just fucking, it's over because you just walk up and you go, oh well, I can be seen across the board, like we said, because ruins are the only thing that truly block line of sight. Nothing else does. Why? I don't know. Could you make it up? Yeah, but then you're essentially just playing ruins again. Because the only difference between terrain types now is either it blocks line of sight or it gives you a cover save. There's no, like, everything else doesn't do anything, you know? How often is a side pick that's not? I'm already standing over here and I can't be fucked to move all my shit. Yeah, literally. Setting up your models, talking through your army, rolling off, and then telling your opponent you are swapping sides is such a power move, though. Yeah, it's funny to say that when you're playing symmetrical terrain as well. Because sometimes I'll do that. I'm like, which one's closest to the window? You know? Which one's got a plug socket? Which one's got the chair? I'm having that side.
But standardization is useful. No, you aren't going to be able to forge a specific story around a certain planet and their temple MacGuffin, but for getting a game in, and to be very clear here, not necessarily a competitive one, having a standard set of layouts is great to save that time. Even in casual games, or hell, even narrative ones, it never feels good to waste a minimum of 2 hours on a game that was doomed from the start because you didn't set up the board right, after potentially already spending far too much of your limited time trying to set that board up properly. I did a little bit of research for this video, by which I mean I googled for 5 minutes to go back and look at some previous editions to see if I could find what it was like in the before times, but I didn't really find that much.
That is so true though as well, like the time thing of, like, it takes so long to get your armies together, get set up, get the board set up, that trying to make a board that's going to work every time is also going to be difficult. I do just think though, I think the Games Workshop layouts with footprints do just work fine, you know what I mean? They do work fine. Just put stuff on them. If you don't like L shapes, put something else on them. Like, we used to use crazy boards, to be fair, back in the day, but it was always difficult. If you look at some of our oldest battle reports, we used to use fucking like fish tank terrain and everything. Where's 9th edition? That's me, look. Look at that. Cute. Some of our, like, oldest ones. I'm just going to click on like a random one, see what it's like. This terrain layout. Look, that's not just L shapes. But the game wasn't as lethal back then. It's pretty symmetrical, though. Look at that board. That's actually quite a cool board. Chat, maybe they're right. Maybe the haters are right. That's quite a cool board. Got my little fucking Luke Skywalker house over there. The thing is with it is you could do something similar, but, like, if you look, there's so much line of sight blocking. But if you wanted to play this board in 10th edition, you just say they're all ruins, you know? You just say they're all ruins. That's the only thing you can do. But yeah, as soon as you start playing, you come out here, you can see into my deployment zone. Now, if you said they're all ruins, it'd work. But, like, physical pieces, if you play them as they are in the rules, you're just dead. You should play a game where you just use the blue/grey footprints with like trees on them and use footprints to determine line of sight block and so on. Yeah. That's how tabletop tactics events do it. Everything is a ruin and the boards can be pretty as a result of it. Yeah, if you said everything on here is a ruin and it all blocks line of sight, it's suddenly very interesting. But yeah, if you don't do that, then it doesn't. It just doesn't work. Look at another one that's like that sort of era. That's not live. Blood Angels versus Deathwing. Let's have an nosy.
Hey guys.
Oh, it was live. Oh god, fucking hell. Mid-pandemic, wearing masks inside. This one is pretty symmetrical though. But even then, like, look at the kill zones when it loads. I played Warhammer for so many years, I know. Like, look at that. You know what I mean? If I could get it without the dice box on. I think this was copying like a WTC layout or similar, but even then it wasn't very good. With the fucking Wall Street bets printout for some reason. God. Lockdown was crazy, wasn't it? This is the deployment zone. And it's like, you got crates on and stuff, but as soon as you can just see straight through. You know, you straight out of the deployment zones, you can just see. It's actually crazy what we were playing with.
Good evening.
But then the game got way too lethal, and then they started making way more terrain. You know what I mean? They started using so much more terrain than this. Drukhari versus Dark Angels. Let's have a nosy.
Previously.
Why is it going back? Oh, there we go. This is just all L-shaped ruins. 8th edition. Let's go. We've got to go back. Further back, Morty.
Hellstorm.
Good evening, gamers, and welcome back
God.
to Hellstormwargaming. My name is Mike.
Is it just me as like older videos don't get as much bandwidth as new ones? The video quality is HD. It's just not loading for some reason. 8th edition battle reports. Now we're talking. Look at that, chat. Play a game with that. That's not L-shaped ruins. Just play a game with that. This is our very first game of Warhammer on the channel. Wow. Look at the wobbly camera. Does it make you feel like you're doing that? Because you're not. Four big knights meta. Yeah, this is what Elliot was running. 4 airbrush painted knights.
Everything's kind of just rocked forwards. Everything's got terrain, just ensuring to move forward. Gulliman's moved to make sure it's within 6 inches of everything there. My entire army.
God, I'm so in. Look at that. I'm about to shoot the fuck out of his knights because nothing blocks line of sight. By the way, everything's within 6 of Gulliman. You can see this one knight. That's gonna fucking die. All right. Next movement phase. Okay, all the knights are still there, but you know. The point being, I just moved my army forward and shot the shit out of him, and then I end up winning this game. Where is it? Where's the last movement phase? Fucking hell. That's my old bedroom, chap. Isn't that cute? Isn't that cute? That's my old bedroom. I still have that ped. It's down there. Can you see? I use it as a bedside table. What a fucking mess, bro. What a mess. When was this? 16th of September, 2017. Bro. I look 12. It was 8 years ago. Bruh. Anything Shimagi here is telling you about crypto. I'm not beating those allegations with the Wall Street bets printout in the middle of the board a minute ago. Where were we? Anyway, where were we? I didn't want to watch this one specifically. I was looking at old terrain that we used to use. This is probably a good example. I'm gonna mute it because I find listening to my old self embarrassing, if that's okay. But like, look at the board here. It's like L's and then terrain, fucking fish tank terrain. You know what I mean? It added some color, but like it doesn't do anything. You can't hide behind. I'm trying to hide behind it from Wraith that. You can't. You just can't. So the problem is nothing blocks line of sight, and I'll keep saying it. Why do we all use L-shaped ruins? It blocks line of sight so I don't get shot in the first turn and die.
I did find the terrain section from the 5th edition rulebook, though. And even back then, it's talking about too much or too little terrain being bad. And that about maybe 25% of the table should be terrain, which is about the same as it is in 10th edition. The Tournament Companion just makes that part easier for most people, so they don't have to worry about having to be an expert in setting up balanced boards. Now, you might be saying, Paul, you spicy little sausage, that's all well and good, but you can have standardized layouts that utilize many different elements of terrain and not just ruins. And if you ask, say,
they're tabletop tactics, right?
boards. Now,
Those
you might
ones.
be saying, Paul, you
10 years later, Mike, he still can't make Charles rolls. Don't do that to me.
spicy little sausage, that's all well and good, but you can have
This is tabletop tactics, right? Because like we've just said in the comments, or someone said in the comment, all tabletop tactics do is use ruins to just use different types of terrain, which is exactly fine. Exactly what you have to do. Why did GW remove the obscuring rule keyword? They removed all keywords, basically. They removed all universal rules. Because 10th edition's fucked, that's why. Obscuring words, fine.
standardized layouts that utilize many different elements of terrain and not just ruins. And if you are saying that, then I don't know why you said it out loud. That is a bit weird. But yes, that is absolutely...
Because I'm watching a live stream. I'm live streaming, bruv. There's also a lore disconnect, though, in that May time we see Warhammer animated, whether that be video or games. No one's ever hiding behind ruins. It's just run forward. Yeah, that's the thing, right? It's like in lore, things just run forward, but you're not reenacting the lore in a game. You're playing the game where it's a winner and a loser. And I think people like forget that bit. It's like, oh, you can't play competitive. Everyone's playing competitive. There's a winner and a loser in every game. You just hope you have a fun time while you're doing it. But yeah, like 9th edition terrain rules were fine. Obscuring keyword was great. They kind of added obscuring again in ruins, but got rid of the keyword obscuring for some reason. Because 10th edition is just a bad edition, and it's had so many patches to make it what it is today, which is quite good. You know, 9th edition was a good edition. The codexes were fucked, and the missions were fucked. 10th edition was a bad edition that's become good.
absolutely true, and there is an argument to be made that this is a weakness of the tournament style balance that permeates through all of the 40k community, even to casual tables. So why ruins and not any of these other terrain types? Are ruins ruining the game?
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Let's see what Games Workshop has to say about ruins in the Tournament Companion. The following layouts primarily use the ruins terrain feature. This efficiently achieves a good amount of line of sight blocking and cover appropriate for balanced games, thanks to the natural abstraction of line of sight within the rules for ruins. For organizers and players with a more robust terrain collection, especially elements that block true line of sight, incorporating features such as woods, barricades, and hills into your chosen layouts is perfectly acceptable. So I believe there are two important things in these quotes. Firstly, references to line of sight and true line of sight. Determining whether a model can see another is done by line of sight. Can you draw a line from model A to model B without terrain PC being in the way? True line of sight is the continuation of that. Line of sight isn't something you draw from above, it's measured from the position of the models themselves. You have to lean down to the table and line up your model from its height to try and draw a bead to the target like you're playing snooker. Lots of the terrain elements block line of sight in this way. In fact, pretty much all of the tall ones do, except maybe woods because they have gaps in them. But some of the thinner terrain suggestions like statues make it hard to hide an entire unit from the eyes of a shooter. And closed buildings, whilst easy to hide behind, take up a massive footprint of area that you either have to climb over or move around, funneling armies into smaller lanes on the board. Ruins are both an area that you can walk through as inventory and areas that block line of sight and can still be hid behind like closed buildings for obscuring protection. So they're a useful terrain type to make the kinds of battlefields that are more fun and interesting to play. But that comes at the cost of ruins being fairly constrained in the kinds of elements of a battlefield that can be considered ruins for those more thematic and visually appealing tables. It's hard to make an
I think thankfully we're both on the same page. I think a lot of people just complain about L-shaped ruins, and the issue isn't the L-shaped ruins, it's just the amount of them, and the fact that the people blame tournament players for L-shaped ruins and playing competitive games for L-shaped ruins, but ultimately the core rules say that ruins are the only ones that actually block line of sight, and that's why they're so common. I mean, you don't play chess and start complaining that knights in history could travel in any direction they like. That's true.
L-shaped ruined wall out of trees unless someone has decided to grow a very specific forest. The L shape specifically is useful because it provides two sides for protection and two sides for potential attack. Some layouts will have these C shapes that require more effort to get behind, but for the most part, the L's are where it's at to give that balance and a more clear idea of where the protection is for your units. Now, for the other part of the quote that I think is important is incorporating features such as woods, barricades, and hills is perfectly acceptable for the player and organizers with robust terrain collections. Basically, you can use those elements, that's totally fine, but the key part I want to point out here is with robust terrain collections. That part affects both your casual home tables and your tournament events with many tables.
And that's the other thing as well, it's like, the one thing that's fucking annoying is whenever people have complaints, they don't just, like, try and change it. They're like, I need Games Workshop to tell me what I can and can't do. That's such a big problem. Because people are like, oh, I hate playing against, like, I hate detachments or whatever. Or I hate fucking not being able to run units of 7 instead of 10. You know, if I want to run 5 or 10, I want to run 7 or 10. You can just make up the rules as you go along, right? Because it is just a game that you're playing with a friend. You know, like, you are just playing a game with a friend and you can make it up all you want. You don't have to follow any of the core rules if you don't want to. And I always, there's something I bleat on about. I'm getting, like, annoyed that I'm saying it again. But, like, there's such a fucking problem with people, like, playing games with friends week in, week out and complaining about terrain. Or maybe they don't play with friends week in, week out. Maybe that's the problem, ultimately. But it's like, if you don't like the rules in 40k, you can just change them. You can do what you want. It's just like, do what you want. If you don't like it, change it. It's like people that call themselves narrative gamers but need GW to feed them rules on how to house rule things. Yeah, exactly. Just house rule everything. You choose the terrain you put on the board. Exactly. You choose the friends you play. I know if it said early because I left for my desk for 30 minutes, but I'd happily watch you take on Paul in the game in his 18th century. I think me and Paul would just have to get caught up in our YouTube playlist and work out how many different we have, and maybe we could, like, cross-contaminate them because he's got a banger playlist. Mike, I couldn't get my AOS group to drop an actual bad rule, let alone getting people to change a mid rule. I hate that. I hate that for you. I always think, I'm like, if you don't like it, just don't use it. You know what I mean? Don't let it happen. Like in D&D, when people complain about the law changes, if it isn't a game that you just freeball everything and use the rules as vague guidelines. Yeah. Unless you're playing a tournament, you can do what the fuck you want. No one cares. In fact, people encourage it. I don't know. I'm not going to bleat on it too much because I've said it fucking thousands of times, it feels like. Do what you want. Nobody cares. You don't need a rule to tell you that you can do what you want. Yes, of course, you can use trees, but competitive tournament companions are going to tell you to use trees because they're really shit to play in tournaments. That's the problem. I'm not angry at Paul. I'm angry at just, like, the general mindset. Be the terrain change you want to see. Yeah, just put fucking trees down. And yeah, jokes aside, put trees in L shapes. Fuck it, YOLO.
Tournaments, there's something that doesn't really get addressed when I see comments about my tournament games. People hate seeing the same boring terrain repeatedly and how it must be awful playing on such repetitive terrain over and over. Some even saying they'd rather die than play with L-shaped ruins. Which is a tad dramatic, don't you think? There's a big reason I don't mind it. Logistics. I want to play some games of 40k. I can play a bunch of those games at these tournaments against awesome, friendly people. Yes, it's competitive, but it's not like entering a lion's den of sweaty grognards. It's just other people who...
You know, I just realized 10 minutes into this video, his face is always on this side, and mine is also on this side, so I'm going to move my face. I've just realized we've been sat on the same side. You can't see his animated face a lot of the time. There we go.
want to play a fun, balanced game of 40k without having to worry about the logistics. What's the easiest way to get enough terrain to fill tens, hundreds, or potentially thousands of tables? A bunch of easy to use, easy to store, repeatable L-shaped or square ruins. Something that's durable for repeated use, not easily broken like a forest terrain piece might be, or a building with an antenna or other protrusions. Just solid, recognizable, safe ruins. Would it be awesome if every tournament could be like going to an event at the Tabletop Tactics Lodge? Yes, they put a lot of time and love into this terrain for their videos, and they can now share that at events with others to play on these wonderfully thematic battlefields. I imagine if you have a permanent place that you can...
But like he says, like, the problem is cost and time as well. If, like, tournaments is one thing, like, tournaments is one thing, but think about, like, where you play. Where do you play games? You play games in stores, you know what I mean? And what's easy for stores is to buy some cheap 3D printed stuff or get Games Workshop stuff, give it a quick spray paint and get it on the board. You know what I mean? Like, jokes aside, I think more stores should look at, or more places should look at what Mini Wargaming is doing with their magnetizable set, because that looks really good. But, like, if you look at this, it's all mismatch. It's not a table of terrain. It's a bundle of terrain on a table, you know? And, like, stores don't really have, like, coherent sets of terrain. They have terrain, you know? So, like, Tabletop Tactics, obviously, they make fantastic boards because this is all from their... I presume it's the same stuff what they use in their videos and they just borrow it when they need it. Probably makes sense because they've got fucking loads of terrain now. But you can't... This is just, like, unachievable for, like, where you play most of your games, which is a local store, you know what I mean? They are running a store at fucking tight margins. They don't have the money to do this. No money or time. People want the best at all events, but don't want to pay the ticket price to help pay for the same amount of terrain you need to buy. No, exactly. Again, it's like... Tournaments is one thing, totally. Like, MDF terrain is there because it's cheap and it's efficient and it's easy to store. But, like, people just don't want to pay. They don't want to pay to play games. They want to be able to play for free. And they just don't realise the money goes into all the shit that you're playing on. You're playing on an expensive battle mat that's between £60 and £100 a time. You're playing on terrain, like this terrain. Like, you can't buy it now, but I know this piece was like 100 and something quid, if not more. Plus all the painting time. Literally a full-time painter painting all this shit for them. Like, there's so much in it to make it amazing that's so expensive, and then people don't want to pay the time or think about the effort, you know what I mean? And then you put it on the board, it don't fucking work. Because if you play this as is, if you play this as per the rules, those knights can see that entire Astra Militarum army. You know? They have to play them as ruins because they can see the entire army! Why is your title Knight's Nerf? Because Knight's Nerf is more clickable than Knight's Buff. And also, I saw mine is toughness, so I wanted to talk about it before I saw the points. If you saw my title and said Knight's Buff, you already know what the question was. Anyway.
Put a lot of time and love into this terrain for their videos, and they can now share that at events with others to play on these wonderfully thematic battlefields. I imagine if you have a...
I lost 1,800 points on that table in a turn round one from an Eldar player, to be fair. Making it ruins didn't help. That's hilarious. I want to go back though. Just
tournament could be like going to an event at the Tabletop Tactics Lodge. Yes, they put a lot...
I can see that you can just run here and just get shot. It's Big Boy Summer, it is. Yeah, the Knights update's crazy. How did you lose 800 points? Did you literally accidentally tip the table over? Well, Eldar are very killy, right?
of time and love into this terrain for their videos, and they can now share that at events with others to play on these wonderfully thematic battlefields. I imagine if you have a permanent place that you can keep tables up like this, or maybe a Games Workshop store or something, then running events would be awesome and would definitely be something that those ruined rejectors would appreciate and would get them actually into the game. But
that's also true, because I have loads of terrain like this that looks really nice, you know, but I can't use this at events because I can't keep it out all the time. You know what I mean? Even me, I've got loads of really nice terrain, but putting it back in boxes is just gonna get broken all the time. I don't like using like fancy terrain because I don't like getting it out because I don't want to break it. I don't really have a good place to store it. If I had like fucking 25 tables that I could just walk over and start playing, it'd be sick. You know what I mean?
Now imagine that you're a local tournament organizer, or an organization like UKTC, or any TO that has to travel with their stuff, or doesn't have a permanent location, or has to cater to not only just 20 tables, but 200 tables. This isn't even a problem with the variety of terrain. Let's say that the Tabletop Tactics guys found a way to clone Fletcher and had a basement full of Fletchers making arrows. And then next door had a bunch of clones of Fletcher making and painting terrain. Sorry, that was a terrible joke. They then gave all of that terrain to the big tournament organizers to use. Awesome! Look at all that cool terrain! Now make sure that you can store, transport, set up, take down, and repack all of those different battlefields without anything breaking, and whilst being fair and balanced across every table so that someone isn't going to get an advantage because they were placed on the table with the Harlequin platform that happens to have a different wall for line of sight. Yes, I can admit that the same ruins can be dull, but when I'm going to these events, I can let that slide, because the alternative is that the event just simply doesn't exist. And I want to play some Warhammer. You can still have some fun, narrative, or fluffy things occur during these kind of games. I don't necessarily need the terrain to look pretty or unique to tell stories, like the Screaming Ravens having a fear of the lion, or their clashes with the World Eaters, or their disdain and long-term rivalry with the Chaos Knight House Raptoris. Logistics also affects the other end of the spectrum as well. Let's once again go back to that first scenario. Okay, new players, flat field, need some terrain. You've looked up the terrain rules, you have a...
I love the Tabletop Tactics tables, but when I played there, Game 1, 3 Emperor Children Demon Prince and 3 Malefics charged me and basically tabled me because there was nothing to slow them down. Ruins are needed to keep a pace in the game. That may have been me, Joe. Did you play Nids? Bam! That's what he said when he charged you. Did you play a guy called Bam? It was really lovely. But yeah, that's the thing. Like, you need something... like ruins are the most functional piece because they just have the best terrain rules. You know what I mean? Like they have the best terrain rules. They slow things down so things can't go through. They block line of sight. They give easy, understandable line of sight cover. What's the blue on the terrain map? So the blue on the terrain map basically represents where ruin isn't, but is line of sight blocking. So it's essentially, this is one footprint of 12 by 6, and the ruin should be around here. This you can walk over with vehicles, but you can still hide behind. Essentially, that's what it represents. Blue bits represent that there's low terrain, like less than 2 inches, so you can wander over it fine, but it's still a ruin, essentially. I can never remember what the eye thing. I can never understand what that means. I think that's supposed to say. I think that means, if I remember correctly, that means this is one terrain piece. So if you're in it, you can be seen from it more angles, barring the wall. Whereas this one, there's no line of sight. I think that's what it means. The dullness is great in a lot of people, though. Ultimately, his argument is he doesn't mind. The thing is with it, is the dullness because you have loads of MDF terrain? Is that the problem? Like, I'm struggling to understand the dullness. You know what I mean? You don't have to play these. There's like when I run tournaments, there's 5 types of different terrain. You know what I mean? They're all symmetrical. A lot of them are L-shaped ruins, but there's 5 different types. What's the dullness? Is it because you're fed up of seeing buildings? Put something else on the footprints. You know what I mean? If you want to do that. Maybe I'm being... maybe I'm misunderstanding. I think I am.
Layout, just put down your terrain and you're good to go. What's the matter? Why are you looking at me like that? Just go get your terrain. Oh, right. You don't have any terrain. Well, you could buy some terrain, but you've just bought all of the models and you're ready to play now. Or you maybe just don't have the time or patience to get a good, decent set of terrain. So what do? Well, you do what the majority of casual players do. And that includes people wanting to try and be more competitive and people wanting to try and be more narrative. Just grab anything. Pieces of paper or cardboard for the terrain footprint, then whatever you can scrounge together as makeshift terrain. Old bits of sprue blue tacked together, books, games, scrap, packaging materials, anything really to make something that at least shows where the lines are drawn. And what's the easiest thing to make from everyday junk lying around? But it certainly isn't woods, it's ruins. And more specifically, L-shaped ruins or small walls. Then once you're ready to commit to a more permanent terrain solution, the easiest ones to get a hold of are sets that encompass that standard terrain layout. Like for example, Tabletop Stronghold, where you can get the highest...
Ugh. Hello. The cats have just both wandered in here, so I'm a bit concerned what they're up to. What, you done? Hello. Why so sheepish? I don't know what they're doing. How's the cat's eye doing? So much better, thankfully. But I have so many more scratches on my hand. Like, this is what I did this morning whilst I was trying to put the eye drops in. But so we phoned the vet yesterday and explained what had happened. They were like, yeah, we probably don't need to see him then, he's fine. But yeah, he's doing so much better. It's just fucking... It was just crazy. Like, literally the next day it looked so much better. But, like Sunday it was all swollen. Then Monday it, like, looked normal. And he was kind of, like, walking around a bit, like... And now he's fine. 400 quid for him to fucking a couple of dry drops and call it a day. It's great symmetrical L shapes over and over for years and years for a lot of players. Does great. Anecdotally, it's led to more people probably playing old world our local games though because you have something else. Like L grey shapes, like UKTC and stuff like that is the same, yeah, because they just use the same terrain over and over. Is that like the same at like local stores and stuff like that? Because that would get a bit annoying. You need a little bit of variety. Don't get me wrong. But I think just saying L-shape bad because it's the same is difficult because L-shape is the only thing that makes the game worth playing, in my opinion. I think they're a bit scared of the fans. They don't like the noise that they make. They're definitely scared of the fans. Cloud was very annoyed when I put the fan on the other day. She fucking belted it. I've got another one on the floor. If you can see, I've not got it on yet because it's like it's manageable heat, but I need the window open. So I'm like, they're definitely dart for open windows. So I like as soon as they come in, I'm like, window shut. What are you doing? As well as the expectation of a player, does a grey L matter if you want to play a game rather than tell a story? Like, yeah, like again, a lot of Warhammer always comes down to managing expectations, maybe. Like, managing expectations of, I want to play a chill game. What are you doing? Why are you so scared? Excuse me? Excuse me? Get down. Get down. Hey. Thank you. Just gonna have a quick chat and make sure nothing's crazy going on. They're running around a bit weird. Acting very sheepish. Sorry about that. Not sure what's up with them. Maybe someone banged on the door or something. We'll put this on a minute. Hopefully you can't hear that. But it's very nice to have two fans on right now. Where were we? She was about a nearly costed night, yeah, clearly. Star Wars Legion grew quickly among Star 40k players where I am because tables were so eye-capturing. I think the thing is with it is like Star Wars has so much more to work with in terms of like tables. It's got so many like distinct planets, and there's not really many famous distinct things that you can use in 40k rather than like bombed out ruin, craft worlds, maybe a tube, which is just going to be more ruins, you know. But yeah, like the problem is it's 40k, it's too killy. I'm not going to keep saying it, but that's the problem. That's why there's so many ruins. Ruins are just the easiest thing to set up to stop you losing all your shit turn one. Honestly, I'm loving 10th edition so much, but that only happened when I just mentally accepted how we want you to play the game now with these layouts. Yeah, I think if you just keep trying to fight it, you're just going to like cause yourself the problem and cause yourself headache of like trying to go around it, whereas like the layouts do work really well. I think it's some weird thing of being on enough in years that people don't really know how to make terrain anymore, combined with the standardization of competitive play needs specific setups. Do we need a how to get so many more trees out of a tree box video? You can play more narrative terrain, but you have to accept that it doesn't function well and will lead to feel bad moments. Yeah, that's always the problem. That's the problem is like I keep saying, terrain is a band-aid. Terrain's just a band-aid. That's all it does. It helps fix an issue. The issue is game's too killy. You can advance and charge across the board and charge turn one. You can shoot and kill loads of big shit turn one. Terrain helps stop that happening. Different people have different attitudes to games. Some people care more about immersion, others more about gameplay. You see in a lot of video games, I think this is similar. Yeah, you're right. But I just like, as it always starts at the player asking for the game and managing expectations right at the start. That's always a problem, I think. Also, does terrain looking different really make it narrative? I get if you are bored, but surely interesting rules or missions around the terrain helps and is actually narrative. Yeah, I always think like when you're playing, if you're trying to make it more narrative, it's the mission that's the problem. But like, yeah, like putting different terrain on the board means you're fighting on a different planet. You can kind of make the board look however you want. But if you want it to be functional, you need some sort of symmetricality and some sort of like semblance to it. It doesn't have to be L's. If you don't like playing on L's, buy something else. You know what I mean? You can just buy something else. If you're bored of L shapes, buy something new. You know? If you're like, my local hobby store doesn't have anything else, it's because what most people want to play on. You know? Buy something and take it to your local hobby store. Don't donate it, but just play it with it. Buy something else. Brilliant. That's right. Buy something else. Fuck's sake.
People agree with me on the logistics side of things, where catering to large events and needing consistency or just getting started and needing something to work off means that having these standardized layouts of ruins makes sense. And even narratively, you could still work with that to play out some really awesome stories without needing to invest the time, budget, or equipment to create these epic battlefields that are fully immersive and can tell more engaging and varied tales. You just have to be willing to tell a lot of stories that take place in ruins. I do believe the Oops All Ruins paradigm does have a place in 40k from the perspective of accessibility, ease of use, removing barriers to entry, and balance. I'm not saying it's perfect or, hell, even desirable, but it's a decent system that, whilst repetitive, is at least predictable. And just to be absolutely clear, I don't think anyone is exactly excited by L-shaped ruins. I don't believe there's anyone out there judge dooming it, happy that Toontown has been torn down to make way for miles and miles of open concrete L's, bouncing off the walls and screaming in excitement that they can finally play without nothing but ruins. I also think that most people are at least happy that they can get a game in relatively easily, and that there's resources out there that make getting into those games less of a hassle. Realistically, if you're a player who plays narrative with access to a lot of wonderful scenery, and you're playing with others who are excited to build these incredible battlefields to tell specific stories with your armies, then the L-shaped ruins shouldn't really affect you. You've already got it worked out. There is, however, going to be a section of the player base that is caught between these two. People who want to play games, but probably rely on pickup games, or have only got access to these default terrain sets, and trying to find a game at a local club or FLGS against someone that you've not met who has the same mindset as you, and you can both agree on a terrain layout that works for both of you. That's difficult. But you're so against ruin spam that you refuse to play it, so you simply don't, and that's a real shame, I think. And like I say, I do understand.
Maybe that is the issue. I think it's just like people want change, but like they don't understand just how much it costs for that change, right? Like they want different stuff, but they go to local stores and all the local store has is L-shaped ruins because that's what the local store has, because that's what people have asked for, because they want to practice for tournaments, and then it trickles down to the casual players. Maybe I'm finally understanding. Maybe I'm finally seeing it. But like... ultimately, yeah, like jokes aside, you do have to be the change you want to see. If you want to play on different types of terrain and your local store doesn't have it, you're going to have to be the guy who buys it for yourself. You don't have to give it to anyone else. You have to donate it to the store, but you're going to have to be the one who invests in it, you know, if you want to see something different, because ultimately you are the master of your own game, you know. But the problem is, I personally think if you are sat there being like, I hate L-shaped ruins, they ruin life, they're everywhere, that's all I play on, and you try and play something else, I personally think you'll have an issue. I personally think you'll have a problem when trying to play a game without these L's that you're so used to, and you'll just lose, you'll just get shot, or your opponent will get shot, and then will lead to more field bad. You know what I mean? Personally, that's the way I can see it going. I don't see you going, you know what, I'm going to play with new terrain, it's going to be amazing. I do think it's a little grass is greener moment.
I do get that if you play this game not just for the game side and you always want to have that narrative flavor, you're kind of stuck. I can sympathize. I'd hate to play a D&D campaign that is just combats in the same ruins over and over with no real story. I play D&D for the narrative, but I've also played in small self-contained one-shots that are purely there just for combat, which are also fun, but those kind of campaigns were with friends and we agreed on what it was ahead of time. For the most part, if I was going to a local shop to play some D&D and everyone around me was just playing L-shaped ruin dungeon crawls and that was considered the default way to play and the only one with any real support, I'd be pissed off. I even suspect that just taking the ruin out of L-shaped ruins might help, but obviously L-shapes are hard to make out of anything else except walls. Maybe some, Tyranid style spikes could work, or chaos flame walls, or derelict machinery, or scrap piles could be shaped into L's, but it's that sheer wall that is more tricky to work around. I think you can still tell a story with...
That's what I mean. Is that the problem? Is it the wall or is it the shape? Because I think, like we've said, if you just take you can put anything on the footprint. It literally doesn't matter. No one cares. It'll work functionally if you just put something similar that will block line of sight. But yeah, is it the fact that it's always a ruin? Is it the fact that it's always an L? What's the real question? Because I'm struggling to understand why do people hate terrain so much. You know? Is it because terrain's just boring? It's always MDF and it's grey? Paint it a different colour. Is it because it's a ruin? Use something else. Use something else. Use foam. Make something. That's what I don't understand now. I'm so confused. I'm so confused. Why do people hate L so much? What is wrong with the shape L? It's half a building. The other half's been smashed up. It's very normal in like Avengers and shit. You see it all the time. Maybe our own tournament bias is colouring out the inability to see your issue of others. Yeah, I think so. Maggie, these people aren't getting their own terrain. They want someone else to get them interesting terrain. Is that the issue? Is that it? I just don't get it. I don't get it. Probably I'm gonna see is people using Tournament Companion of a asymmetric. No, wait, that's not what I want to read. Do you think the Tournament Companion pushes the idea that GW wants you to play on ruins? Yeah, because the thing is even Games Workshop have to put a little note being like, if you want to, you can use forests. And it's like, you don't need to be told that. You can do what you want.
The L-shaped ruins, but like I said before, it's a lot of ruined cities. And those cities can be from the Imperium or a Xenos race, but they're still ruined cities fighting in urban warfare, which at least makes sense for a lot of 40k, but it is still repetitive. However, I think the issue here goes beyond the ruins. From discussions on my streams or from the comments I've read, some people are just truly opposed to the current terrain layout design. We may have even stopped playing entirely because of the way everything is ruins now and the lack of variety or visual diversity. But I don't think it's the ruins that are the problem. You can do a lot with ruins. Every civilization has ruins.
Look at that! L. Well, I'll point it this way so it looks better. Real L-shaped ruin! L-shaped ruins in real life! They're right there! It's right there, chat! It's literally an L-shape! That's an L-shaped ruin! If you want to, is pretending match play local game store isn't a monolith, and the vast majority of pickup games you can get. See, I'm not mega sure, because I feel like if you go in with the mindset being like, I would like to play a narrative game today, would anyone like to start organizing one? Or I would like to play a narrative game in a week's time. I think that's doable. If you just say, hey, I don't want a game this week, then yeah, you'll get a match play game. Because it is the default, let's be honest. I'm not arguing that match play isn't the default, but I am arguing that the understanding that communication of what you are looking for in a game is the most important bit. It should start at step one. I always say this. I run a competitive 40k club every Thursday, okay? Where it is a competitive club that is free to play at the Outpost. If you're local Sheffield, come along, it'd be really cool. It's free to play. But we get it all the time. It's like the whole point of a competitive club is not to be like, hey, it's a casual game tonight. I'm going to bring my chilled list. It's kind of like the expectation, the conversations, the social contract, the fucking shit that people throw out all the time. The expectation is there right at the front of it. It's a competitive club. What you expect is tournament terrain, and you are expected to play. You should expect that you are gonna play in like horrible lists. You know what I mean? You might get up a matchup that's really horrible. So if you bring something casual, then like you go to this and you get smashed in 3 turns, you kind of go, well, it's a competitive club. I should have expected it. I should have been ready for it. You know? I bet Cash Money, a lot of people who say, I was hoping to try out this my upcoming event is want to play our GW layout. Sorry, I hope you find another game. I bet Cash Money, a lot of people would say, oh, I was hoping to try out my list for an upcoming event. Or want to play on GW layout. Sorry, I hope you find another game. Like Randoma guy, like, sorry if I feel like your comments are standing out to me because obviously you're being the opposition, which I'm not trying. When I am bringing up your comments, I'm not trying to like single you out or anything. It's just like an interesting like a different mindset that I have that I'm trying to understand. So hopefully, with me talking to you, I'm not trying to like single you out. It's like negatively. I'm singling you out because you are saying something different. But when I want a pickup game, if I ask you for a pickup game, I say, I'm looking for a practice for a tournament. I'm trying out a new list. Could you not also go, hi guys, I'm playing a narrative game. Would anyone like to join me on that? You know, I don't want to play against an upcoming tournament list. Like, that's something I've always struggled with. It's something that I bring up every time this happens. Whenever we talk about tournament versus narrative, or narrative being the quote unquote not competitive group, the competitive versus casual. Can you not have that conversation at the start and be like, hello, I'm looking for XYZ, not ABC, you know? Am I being, like, obtuse? Am I being, like, really closed-minded about that conversation? Because I feel like if you just say, hey, I want to play a casual game, not a tournament practice, surely you'll get one. It might be harder. Pool of players is smaller. I won't lie. But pool of players is going to be smaller. But, like, I feel like managing the expectation at the first step, you know, like I said, I run a competitive club, so people who attend kind of have, like, the mindset of, like, I'm going on the Thursday to comp club. It's called competitive club. Because then I know I'm going for a competitive experience. I'm likely going to be playing on tournament terrain, and I'm going to be playing against hard lists. Doesn't mean everyone's a cunt when they're there. If someone starts being a cunt, I'll ban them from competitive club. But the reason I set it up like that is so the mindset is like, this isn't narrative practice. It's like, you're going to bring some horrible shit. And maybe you could be the person, like, again, random again, not you, again, like you, metaphorical you, could be the person to be like, I'm running the narrative club tonight, you know? Like, we're not using L-shaped ruins. It's fucking terrain. It's jungle Thursday, you know? When I go to pick up game, I ask the guy how competitive he wants to be. Yeah, I just feel like, step one, social contract. Social contract. I want to play chill. I don't want to be a tournament guinea pig. And that's totally fair. Com Club sets out the terms clearly, trying to say we are the no L-shaped ruins club, just doesn't get the players because match players are monolith. Build it, bro. You know? Try it. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you're right. But I am a bit like, build it and they'll come. You know? Comp Club, I had 3 people turn up for the first one. I'm a famous YouTuber. Now I've got like 15 people coming every week. You know what I mean? Just get people in. Try it. Make it. Every 2 weeks on a Wednesday, you know? On a Wednesday night, on a Thursday night, I'm running the non-competitive narrative club. I'll make beautiful tables for you to come to play on. Charge them £2 or whatever. I don't know. Anyway. I joined this hobby like 20 years ago. I can't remember a time since 4th/5th edition where it hasn't been a battle between competitive and narrative. Yeah. Yeah. You only need one additional guy to show up to the narrative club to get it going. Totally agree, John. Yeah, exactly that, mate. Exactly that. Anyway, bring back the force organization chart to make armies feel less lethal. No. We just need to make the game less lethal and better, and at the core better. Then it won't need symmetrical terrain all the time. You are the guy from YouTube. It's literally me, bro. Literally, I am him. Yeah, next week, when I play at the studio, I'm going to build a narrative table. And it's going to be L-shapes made of trees and rocks, okay? I'm going to be like, look, it can be done. Look, it can be done. Just chill out, bro. Anyway.
Ruins are just the remains of something that was once there and has been destroyed or left forgotten. The problem isn't the ruins. The problem is the letter L. And that makes a ton of sense. I finally get you guys. L is a terrible letter. An L take is a bad take. Taking the L means to lose. It's the icon for League of Legends. You'd be looking kind of dumb with a finger and a thumb in the shape of an L on your forehead. An L is only worth 1 point in Scrabble. Nobody's favorite letter is L. It's a boring letter that gets lost somewhere in the middle of the alphabet. It doesn't feel strong or powerful like the good letters like X or Z or P. So when you're only seeing the same letter over and over, of course you're going to go mad. Of course you're going to leave angry comments about it. You ask for variety, just a smidge of a change, just a glimpse of something new as a treat, but all you see is L-shaped ruins. People start telling you, oh, that's fine, you can make them something other than ruins. Use a little imagination, but that, they just don't understand that it's not the ruins that's a problem, it's the shape. What you want is a whole alphabet of ruins. No longer will your lovingly laid out battlefields be littered with limited L's. Thanks to your old pal Paul and his ingenious headaches with pictures, here's some terrain layouts featuring every single letter of the alphabet that are balanced, competitive, and even narrative. You can utilize these new ruin shapes to create the most varied, interesting, and most importantly, fun battlefields you can imagine. To help you with understanding these brand new, extremely unique, totally different ways of configuring ruins, I've created some fantastic example terrain layouts based on 40k terms so that you can easily find the right ruins for you. Or P, or B, or whichever other letter of the alphabet you're looking for.
Very good. Very good. So I was sent these layouts and being like in the video, the problem with L-shaped ruins. And then I looked at it, I was like, why is there just L-shaped ruins on the L-shaped ruins? You know? I get it now. I understand.
With the Xenos battlefield, you're already...
It spells out Xenos. God, that's very smart. That is actually very, very smart. Because I saw this and I was like, it's just fucking L-shaped ruins. What is he talking about? Not getting the context that it spells Xenos.
You're going to be blown away with this new shape. The best shape, the hexagon, which is going to help us get that very round but very friend-shaped O surrounded on all sides by walls. This could
yeah, let's have some magic boxes. Let's go.
represent a closed building, but to keep with the ruined theme, this could just be a place to stage for all of your infantry to try and prepare a charge in any direction. And also a fun little extra bonus game to try and keep every model 1.1 inches away from every single wall of this 6-sided safe space. Using some diagonal lines to create an N makes traversing these smaller sections a pain, which will slow down those faster units. The E makes 1 room 2 rooms with this nice dividing ruin wall, so you can feel like you're in a ruin that was once owned by a landlord who buys...
The E, is the E not just 3 L's? 1, 2, 3.
units. The E makes 1 room 2 rooms with this nice dividing ruin wall, so you can feel like you're in a ruin that was once owned by a landlord who buys houses and tries to find new and creative ways to push the boundaries of what could constitute a bedroom to help squeeze as many people as possible for rent in a shared house. Either side of that E are 2 big ruins that you could say are just L's, but clearly they are not. Why would you say that? Because they are connected by a walkway spanning over the top of the E. A sublimely simple solution to connect 2 very large ruin walls that you can walk across and try to balance your models on and inevitably knock off. And for the X, just get creative with those ruins by adding a little extra chest-high wall extending out in front of those ruins that turns a boring arrangement into an expertly excavated ruin for an exciting experience enjoyed with a nice espresso. With the Inquisitor layout, you can use the quintessential Q to make quite an impact on the quality of the battlefield, alongside a T and U, which are more standard but nevertheless...
Yeah, this is quite good, actually. Some of these are quite really interesting, but they are just more L's. They are just more L's, bro.
important features. Taking inspiration from some of the terrain I've played on, you can use pieces like this to create something for an eye. And here is a really resplendent R ruin with a smaller gap to enter this main space and an alcove outside. If 10th edition just hasn't been your bag, you probably also missed the psychic phase, so you can now bring it back with the psychic layout. Does that mean the rules change? No, don't be so fucking stupid. Why would you even think that? But you can at least feel like the psychic phase means something when you look at these unique, awesome shapes like the P, Y, C, and H. Is H just an eye on its side? Is Y just the same as T, which is just the same as X without the protrusion? Is P stored in the balls? Stop asking questions, dumbass. Maybe you aren't an orc player and you don't have the chance to say boom daka snazwag.
Alphabet suit ruins, come on, bro. Do people think I've missed the joke? I'm just like looking at them now. I'm like, I get the joke. I understand that it spells out the word, but I'm just looking at them just like, it is just more L's.
Really?
People will look at this, they'll post them and be like, look, guys, Paul's fixed terrain. And he hasn't, he's just made more L's. Just even more L's. They're worse to store.
interesting shapes to help spice up your battlefields with these premium letters. Imagine all the fun stories you could tell with your units hiding in this cubby hole here and then shooting across to the exact same building on the other side. That is a totally normal thing for any city to have. Or maybe it's a cave. It doesn't have to be a city, it could be a cave ruin. How do you ruin a cave? Why don't you go ask your mum? But finally, at the end of the day,
I feel called out. Yeah, I am calling you out, bro.
the main thing is that we enjoy ourselves. So let's just have fun. Yeah, the L has to be here. It is part of the alphabet, but that's alongside the J, V, and F runes that make for a varied, limitless, fantastic jaunt through the 41st millennium. I totally didn't have a bunch of leftover letters to try and force into some sort of name, and it turns out they're all literally just L-shaped ruins. No way. Don't be ridiculous. It's absolutely...
I like these layouts, bro. Don't do this to me. Bro, don't do this to me. That's just even just a fucking GW1. That's just fucking almost layout fucking 6.
Is that we enjoy ourselves. No way. Don't be ridiculous. This absolutely wasn't an idea for a joke. I had to make ruins of all the letters of the alphabet before realizing they're all just different ways of putting L's together. Of course, I didn't realize in the process of making this video that there are so many letters that could just be adjusted to cover the majority of the entire fucking alphabet, and adding a slight protrusion to a wall doesn't actually make a goddamn bit of difference. Or that circles are basically impossible to do with these ruins. I had to do this jag bullshit to try and fit these useless fucking letters. Like, I mean, Q? Q? What do you even do, Q? There's a reason no one likes you. You're fucking annoying in Scrabble. You can't go anywhere without your emotional support valve. Grow up! It doesn't matter how I try to make the new letters. They're still just goddamn L's. But you, who left such an angry comment, who feels so justified, so righteous in their crusade against the L-shaped ruins, you somehow have the gall to be upset about L-shaped ruins? You don't play the game. You said you'd rather die because of L-shaped ruins, but you pathetic fool. You don't even know. You don't even realize, do you? It's all L's. It's always been L's, from woods to war.
Paul's really fucking based, isn't he? He's just so fucking right.
L's. Closed buildings, L's. Craters, L's. Pipes, L's. Even the forest and the trees, just L's. Nature is L's. I look around and all I see is L's. You whine so loudly, so proudly that all ruins are L's. Look around you. Let it reveal the truth. Do not lie to yourself any longer. Around every corner, the L is there. It has always been there. There is nothing that cannot be an L. L is the light. I'm no longer lost. L is limitless. L is love. L is life.
L plus ratio, that's what I'd say.
L-shaped ruins are the objectively correct way to play the game, to play any game. If you cannot find a way to use L's to make something new, something unique, something creative, something beautiful, then you have no soul. You are lacking. And maybe you think I'm wrong, that I'm the crazy one. Maybe you think L-shaped ruins are just lame, and despite all I've said, you still think that Games Workshop and the wider community should be more encouraged to try something new, to try and implement some of the terrain features in the core rules. Maybe you just want there to be more support and more options for you to have easier access to scenic and flavorful boards to play 40k on. And maybe you
say it. Just say go do it then. If he finishes this video with go do it then, I'm gonna fucking howl. And I'll just be like, Paul, get the fuck out of my brain.
think that the L isn't coming for you. But you're wrong. The L has found you. Do not try to flee. It's already too late. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and love.
Good video, and I also like the fact that he's changed everyone's names with L's at the end. That was a really good video. Well done, Paul. Just fucking... that was a bit of clickbait. The problem with L-shaped ruins, there are no problems. It was very good. I did appreciate it. It's very funny. He's right though. He is right. You know, as a tournament organizer, as a YouTuber one to another, great takes all round. Just fucking on point all day, every day. Good video. Good fun. Told you Paul was good. Told you Paul was good. Why stop spelling his name like that? It's embarrassing. I found Paul recently. His vids are fun. Yeah, I see him pop up quite a lot. He's obviously really smashing it. Like getting like 80,000 views on a video about tournament terrain is just like not heard of really. So shout out to him. Great video, good fun, and definitely some interesting takes. It turns out all the narrative plays are wrong. Hey, anyway, I don't know what to put my music on now. It just sounds like I'm playing Paul's music. It's moved anyway now because L-shaped runes are built into the design. GW designed armies around melee being able to stage safely and so on. Yeah. We are stuck with L's forever. Radobo, he was calling you out. You know that, don't you? He was calling you out, I'm afraid. But yeah. Yeah, like, the game is designed around being able to stage and stuff. And if you can't, then why are we playing this game, you know? If your argument is I don't like L's, I just want to be able to shoot my opponent, it's a bit difficult. It's a bit difficult. It's hard to sympathize. You take the L. Very good. Very good. Yeah, great video by Paul. Really fun. I don't really watch like VTubers or anything like that, but it was fun. It's just interesting that it's like fucking most of it was just white screen MS Paint drawing on screen. Oh, anyway, chat, I think that's about it for today. I think that's about everything. I think. I don't have much else to tell you about. Just put sky dice into every test. You don't even need terrain then. Genius. Why don't we just like randomly throw just junk on the table and play around that? Because that's what a real warfare battlefield would be random. So why don't we just throw random shit on the board and then play with that and just call it all ruins, you know? Friday stream on a Paul layout, please. No. You know they're a joke, right? You know they're a meme and they're just L shapes. Bro, what are you talking about? What are you saying to me, bro? Just say guns don't work turn 1 and get the same effect as ruins. Deal. Do it. Do it. Say guns don't work turn 1, then it will be a different game. But turn 2, you will get shot. No balls? I'll make a terrain with no balls. N-O-B-L-A-S. I know that something like that in the 90s, scatter battlefield terrain is actually fun. Until you play 10th edition. It's a different beast, bro. It's a different beast. It doesn't work. Just say it's where everyone has learned up 18. It's... I can't win. I can't win. Well, 18, everybody advances and shoots like 30 inches these days. What do you mean? Elimination will fix all the problems there. Right, Huffscopium. That's much better. More on brand. More on brand. Anyway, what's happened on competitive 40k barring talk about Knights? Just tell the town player to fuck off. Big C, watching. Fuck off. How to do with argumentative components. For context, I'm a casual player, first and foremost, who's practicing toward tournament play. I also invest time into following a lead from top point players due to wanting to play competitively. I notice an increase in outright incompetence when it comes to certain people I play in both TTS and in person. supposed tournament players have skin in the game. There are multiple editions. I'll state something, they'll argue against it. I'll provide a physical proof with multiple sources. Games Workshop rules is written in other sources to back it up. They'll still dispute it. That's not how me and my friend play it, or it didn't used to be like ninth. It's my favourite. All my favourite, that can't be how the rule functions because it renders this pointless. Example, I heroically intervene with Mephisto to disrupt the flow of fights. He doesn't get the fight first from the charge bonus, but always has fight first baked in. I explain I get to activate and resolve first, as I'm the non-active player with fight first. They'll argue against it because fight first is gained from charge bonus, and then we end up with this weird stalemate where I provided proof from multiple sources. They refuse to admit they're wrong and seek an alternative opinion from some random guy on Google from 3 years ago to back up their claim. Before throwing a history fit because they can't take some back up to their claim, or firmly believe the 3-year-old person found from a stranger on the internet takes precedence over Games Workshop rules written and total players with competitive knowledge. Yeah, I've played this person. Fuck me. What was the big tournament drama? That was it. The terrain. My apologies for being a bit clickbaity. Tournament terrain drama. But terrain in the title though normally doesn't get views unless he's fucking Paul by looks at it. I don't want to be that guy that picks up his stuff from Warsaw because I'm trying to learn how to be better playing. If I can't finish a game, it really puts you off the idea of playing random people in any setting. How do you deal with people like this? Slap them. Slap them. I have someone tell me I was wrong with angelic inheritors when everyone told me I was right. About which bit? About which bit, bro? Honestly, you don't. If you want serious practice, you want to find or start a community with people to trust, to be good opponents and good sports. Before they get in talk with them and decide if he wants to no cutthroat, wants to be cutthroat, no take back chess clocks, etc., or more educational. And what rules you'll be going by in case of any dispute. Look at that. Fucking communication before the game starts. That's crazy, bro. It's as if it's as if we are humans can talk to each other. Oh my god, I really struggle with that because of if we are humans and can talk to each other. Oh my god. He was adamant I needed to have a character unit with an attached bodyguard to get the detachment rule, and if the bodyguard dies, I'd lose it. Wasn't it just character units? Right? Angelic inheritors. How can you get this wrong? About set 2 angelic legacy abilities. Telling about the legacy angel. Angelic legacy abilities are active in their effects apply to all depths started character units from around me. Oh fucking idiot. What a fucking idiot. He was showing the rule and he said I was wrong. Yeah, to be fair, you probably were wrong, mercenary. Hurricanes mentioned pairing fights face such a prominent factor in most competitive types. I'm wondering if these people actually attend events. That's literally what happened with me and Billy the other day. And then someone literally never got at me like, why didn't he heroically intervene? With lying fucking stupid thing. Not this game. Week before. We literally had the same thing where I rolled it back. Because this was all gonna die. Why did they decide not to use Leonard aggression? I literally explained on stream that I was like, I don't want the game to go like this because we both realized I got fight first. I'm about to kill fucking Billy's 250-point unit in one round of combat before he gets a fight.
I will go for...
Great time. Great time, how about y'all? Anyway. Anyway, chat. Yo, Donkey Kong Bonanza! Yo! When's this? At 2 o'clock? Donkey Kong Bonanza? Yo! I'm desperate to see it. I don't want to wait 20 minutes though. I watch it now. I want to know what's happening in Donkey Kong Land, the only game coming out for the Switch 2. Donkey Dong Bonanza. Donkey Dong Cananza. Donkey Dong, new name for Mikey, thank you. Where were we? Right. Okay. Why is that in general chat? No idea. Open on stream. AI scam demo. Let's have a look.
Hello. I'm not a real person, and that's the point. Tonight's episode is a little different and a little more important.
Artificial intelligence, or AI, can make fake things seem very real, just like everything in this video.
Online scams are easier now because AI videos make things look so real. Like this whole place.
As AI video technology gets better, scammers will use it to trick people.
It's so close, isn't it? Again, it's just like Uncanny Valley. You like look, half look, you don't
There
realize.
are some things to watch out for.
Ma'am, I see multiple threats on your computer. I need access immediately to secure your files. Nope, I'm fake.
We've detected suspicious activity on your account. Can you tell me your login information? Just kidding, I'm fake.
These miracle hearing aids are only $14.99 today. Click the link below and order now. Nope, I'm fake, just like these hearing aids.
We just need to confirm your Medicare number to update your benefits for this year. No.
Like, a lot of them look scarily good, don't they?
Not really.
Congratulations! You've won $1 million. You just have to pay the small claiming fee today.
Nope, I'm fake.
We're raising funds for a sick parishioner. Can you send me some Apple gift cards?
Can you send me some Apple gift cards? Yeah, the fucking name tag. Do... Is that Fent? Do purple. No. Do purple. Crazy. Crazy. Etsy changed the 3D printed items. Etsy cracks down on 3D printed products. New rules exclude many 3D printed items from listings. When you purchase through all links to our site... Etsy's redefined its creativity standards to exclude a vast majority of 3D printed goods on its websites. Now, everything 3D printed must be produced based on a seller's original design. This would seem to eliminate the widely popular Flexi Dragon prints and many other 3D printed items that we found by the thousands of Etsy virtual shelves. The move took 3D print sellers by surprise. It was unannounced by Etsy itself. Instead, the update was caught by a sharp-eyed Etsy seller who bothered to read the legal section under our house rules, which was buried a few pages deep into a recent Etsy community newsletter about keeping our marketplace safe. The alarm was sounded throughout 3D printed forums as Etsy sellers panicked that their shops might be shut down. Bro, it's literally Jova. Bro, this is huge. I didn't see this. This is actually massive. I heard about this. Someone asked customer support. They said as long as you have a commercial license, it's okay. Oh, well, that's completely against what this says. That's literally the opposite of what that says, right? Have we got a follow-up? If that's the case, because if this is true, then that just affects, like, every Warhammer Etsy seller. You know? That is well, first of all, fucking look at the state of it. Every printed Warhammer thing. 1.4K miniatures. You know, you can't sell Station Forge. He can't sell Station Forge because he doesn't own it. You know? Can't sell those because they're not his. Can't sell this. Can't sell this. Can't sell these. Definitely can't sell these because they don't have a commercial license. There's so much shit on here that's just all like licensed, you know? There's so much licensed stuff that people resell. Wild. Insane Gundam. That is an insane Gundam, to be fair. It is a wild Gundam, bro. Yo, Ty! Dude, thank you for the 5 gifted, man. Dude, thank you so much for the 5 gifted. You're a fucking legend, dude. What a fucking boy. Shout out to Ty. You've just been gifted membership. Make sure you say thank you. What a fucking boy. This paint job is fucking crazy. Have you seen they're doing armored core 30mm kit soon? Really? I really want to get an armored core kit. They're fucking, some of them look sick. I don't see the 30mm ones though. What's the 30mm kit? Thanks, Ty. You're a fucking boy. There's one here, 25. They're doing 13-minute missions. Oh. What does that mean? Wow. That's so cool. What is it? The armored car ones are sick. They're designed to be easy to build and massively interchangeable. Ah, okay. I do love armored core. I'm trying to find, like, there's no images of them, is there? They look good. I guess that's them. 30 minutes label. The kits look great, to be fair. I fucking love Armored Core. What a fucking game. What a fucking game. I'm just a FromSoft simp, clearly. I just fucking love Armored Core so much. The amount of fucking hours I put into that game when Big C got me onto it, I was just fucking... That was it. That was it. I was locked the fuck in. Same with Night Rain, to be fair. Same with fucking Night Rain. Anyway, chat. I'm going to call it a day there. Thanks so much for watching. Thanks, really appreciate it. I would watch the Donkey Kong Bonanza. But I don't think many people care. Or do people care? I just don't know how to fill the last 10 minutes while I'm waiting for it. Love Armored Core. Love Armored Core 8 Coral. Anyway, Friday, we're going to try out this idea. We're going to try this idea, right? If you're at the beginning of the stream or earlier in the stream, you might remember. We're going to try the idea. Mercy, do you fancy a game on Friday evening? POV. Go be fun, it's gonna find me on the phone. I'm not sure where I've put it. So yeah, I might stream a game from my chest with my GoPro. I'll see if I can pencil you in. Yeah, good idea. So yeah, so I'm going to go. I've got some work to do this evening, so hopefully I'll have a video out before the weekend, which should be good. Maybe even 2 on the way. Dreadnought POV. Yeah. So thanks for watching, and hopefully I'll catch you Friday for the dumb stream. The dumb stream idea. Appreciate you. Goodbye now. Bye-bye. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye. Love you all. Bye-bye now. Bye. 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 Bye.